back to HitPoint, an anime news show, a JRPG news show, a niche news show, a show where Baku and I talk about anything and everything that catches our interest and or ire. And today we've got a very special roundup episode covering the Sony State of Play and the Tokyo Game Show 2024. We'll be previewing a lot of trailers, talking about a little bit of industry news towards the end of the show, talking about some merch and stuff that's going to be pretty exciting. And we'll be responding to super chats at the end of the show as per usual. Baku, it is good to see you, my friend. How are you doing today?
Good to see you too. You're somehow like 3 times my size, and
Oh, geez.
What are you trying to say? What do you? Is that a statement, sir? Are you making a statement?
I'm just too close to the camera, I guess.
Just too close.
By the way, if I could just like step into the camera and like, here we go. Here we go. Here, can I?
Wow. Hi, hello there.
Hi.
Hello. A little close. Just a little.
It's almost like I could just reach out and here.
Up, so close. Your fingers are being cut off. you nailed the intro, by the way. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
it's like a miracle. Yeah, you absolutely nailed it.
I was just gonna roll with it and pretend that like I do this all the time because this is the most professional podcast on all of YouTube.
Absolutely,
because we broadcast live every single Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern time. You know, every week. We did this last week, and every single, except for the ones except for the ones we don't. Yes.
One has a haircut, one does not. That is true.
That is true.
Yes.
I've been.
I don't know how Derek does it.
I've been cultivating hair mass lately.
I've been trying to lose weight, and the only way I know is to cut my hair.
You know, I have been making, finally, after a couple of years of plateauing, I've finally figured out something that works for me, and I'm starting to move on the scale again, and I'm very pleased about it. Getting a little closer to my ultimate goal, so I can eventually take over the whole world. But you know, before we do take over the world, we have a couple of podcast comments from last week that we'll want to go over here. So, thank you for putting these together, Baku. I was distracted. So coming from Anthony Herrick, 425, they said, "I love the game's art style. Thank you so much for the interview." And that is, of course, in reference to Forge of the Fae. Man, that was such an awesome interview last week with David.
Yeah.
I love those interviews, and I am always excited to be able to show more people such exciting indie games and developers, and just like talk about the methodology, the kind of stuff that goes into making the games that we don't even consider. Like, we still haven't talked about in depth his what was it, the core tenets of like of a side quest, or like what makes a side quest valuable. That's the sort of stuff like I geek out about this stuff because I live and breathe RPGs in a lot of ways. And I know that only probably developers and people like me who overthink things way too much actually think about like because in the back of my mind I have this theory, and that is that every side quest or every quest in some way, shape, or form is a fetch quest. It's just a matter of how well has it been disguised. And you know, there's the fetch quest, and then there's the kill quest, right? That's the two. There might be another, but there's not very many like broad categories of like, oh, you must go on a quest to do something, and you must do that thing somewhere. You know, it's like how do you disguise that and make it interesting? Anyways, that's something for, you know, probably a whole other interview. I after this week, guys, our list of people that we want to interview has increased a lot.
We doubled the amount. We went from 1 to 2.
Oh, no. I'm saying the people I want to interview has...
Oh, we want to interview. Okay. Yes. I thought you were saying the people that we've interviewed on this show has increased dramatically. I'm like, you're right. It's a 200% increase. We went from having one interview to having 2 interviews.
That
And
is
there will be more.
that is a
Yes.
scientific fact.
Yes, that is factual. You can check the math. But yeah, no, we'll have more of these. I'm sure. Sometime down the road. Not that we're planned anything on it. um,
I mean, maybe.
yeah, maybe we'll see. Let us know how you guys feel about those interviews. If there are ways that you feel like, hey, that interview could have gone a little better if you did A, B, and C. Let us know. I mean, we're just starting off doing these live interviews, so
Yeah.
we'd
And
like to be able to make it a better experience for both you guys out here watching and also the people we're interviewing. So, any
and
feedback? Yeah.
and if you guys think of anybody that you would like to be on on HitPoint, let us know that too. That's I wanna bring in people you guys want to talk about and care and just yes, let's do this.
Yeah, like this one guy and this other guy, this other person,
Like
this
this,
group of people.
there. I feel like I have at least 3 Tylers that I need to interview at some point.
3 Tylers, at least 3 Tylers.
Just not at the same time. That would be too many Tylers.
Too many Tylers. Yeah, I don't know if the podcast can handle that many Tylers on at the same time. They're all very high energy people.
That sounds exhausting.
As an introvert, wait, hold on, Derek. Are you more of an introvert or an extrovert? Like, what do you think?
Are you an introvert or extrovert?
I am totally an extrovert.
You think?
I don't think anyone could believe that I am an introvert.
Weirdly,
No
I would
way.
probably describe myself as an introvert who is good at pretending to be an extrovert. Um, God, if you look at my very first couple of episodes of the game collection from 10 years ago, oh my God, you can feel like the discomfort of like speaking. Oh man.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, you could have fooled me, so that's why I had to ask. Like, it's not even like immediately recognizable, I guess. But that's cool. Okay, so yeah, so interviews. Now we've got another comment here from Lamasis2, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. There are so many JRPGs with mature themes which came out in the last 10 to 15 years. So many. Thank you so much for that comment. And that is in reference to like one of the super chats that we received asking about like how I forgot who is from Still Alive or Fluffy Dog, one of them, who was asking like were there any particularly mature JRPG that came out and what would it be? Like I remember talking about Nier Automata.
Yeah.
Um
And,
yeah,
and
so
I picked a
thought
bunch
it
of
was
Atlas stuff like a
oh
scrub.
and metaphor, yeah. Oh, you were saying metaphor, even though it's not out yet.
Yeah, and then
Technically, right? Yeah.
you know what? I mean, the demo is out now. I don't think we're going to talk about that today, but the demo is out, and you guys can go play probably more than I have so far, and you can come to your own
Yeah.
conclusions.
I am, you know what, for personally for games that has demos out, but they're games that I know I will want to play, I don't play the demo. I only play the demo if I'm on the fence. Like I'm not sure. It's like maybe I'll get it. But if I know I will get it 100%, I'm already set. Then I don't want to spoil myself ahead because I hate cliffhangers.
Yeah.
So if I'm playing the demo before the release, it's a cliffhanger because I'm like, oh, I want more. When's the game coming out? 2 months? No, I have to wait 2 months to continue. No.
Cool thing about this about this demo though is that it carries through. It's a prologue demo, so you can gain access to the you can gain access to the demo, which is nice. Or to
It's still a cliffhanger. It's a cliffhanger.
I don't know. Sorry, my mind is in 2 places right now because I'm also troubleshooting some audio stuff.
Oh no, Derek's lower than. Oh no.
Well, I can fix that. I just need to get closer to the micro. The microphone is like right here, right?
Yeah, right next to my ears there.
Exactly. So
and very very comfortable distance. But yeah. Hey. So I guess the question is, hey, if you guys have any you know, mature themed JRPGs came in the last 10 to 15 years that you also like to share that we didn't talk about because clearly we didn't talk about a lot of them.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments. I'd like to hear from you. I love the fact that these RPGs can get into more mature themes without just going like being just like totally edgy. Like edgy is not the way to talk about mature themes. Edgy is,
Yeah.
you know, the people masquerading as just being mature. I always feel like you know, like Shadow with a gun, just all of a sudden it's mature. I'm like, no, that is not
Hey.
how you do
Okay.
it.
Okay. You know
What?
what? In Reynatus, I played a little bit of that.
Mhm.
Super mature.
Super mature. Wink.
No. It's I am 14 and this is deep maturity levels. It's, you know, I'll talk more about it eventually. I was actually going to be doing an unboxing video of it, but the box didn't
Oh,
arrive
okay. Hmm.
until later, and then I got a whole other stuff. Like I had to finish up my dedicated
Hmm.
ad video. Sponsored video, that's the word for it. I did my sponsored
Yes.
video for Beyond Galaxy Land, which was a lot of fun.
Ooh.
Um,
Okay.
I got to dress up and make myself look like an 80s, I don't know, something. I got to do my synthwave cosplay. It was great.
Hmm. Man, you know, that's you need to do this more often on this show. We'd love to see it. If the colors aren't hurting my
Yeah.
eyes from your t-shirt, you're doing it wrong. I want all the colors. So yeah, so thank you so much for those comments. And by the way, I love reading all of your comments like basically the next day, and we typically respond. So if there are any questions that you didn't get to ask or we didn't get to respond, I mean, the comment section is also a pretty good avenue to like just get in touch with Derek and myself. So please be sure to use that responsibly.
Yeah. All right. So,
Yes.
oh yeah, that also reminds me. There was another thing I was gonna say. For
Hmm.
those of you who would like to leave us a voicemail, I've failed to actually mention this a time or two. So you should do that. You can leave us a voicemail at 785-337-3805. That is our hit point voicemail, and we'll play it on the air. And and
And
we'll get to talk about it like live on the air. You know.
yes,
So,
it was
all right.
always fun.
I'm just going to double check something. Baku, could you say a few things real quick?
I shall say a few things very quickly.
Okay, cool. There. Now our audio levels should be about perfect. Sorry
Ah.
for messing with things on the fly if anybody's like watching after the fact. Yeah,
Mhm.
just understand that that's just how professional we are. You know, we get together a half hour early to do
Mhm.
sound checks and then don't even check the sound.
We like to
But
have fun around here. Yeah.
you know, I think it's because we actually fixed the audio like really well in one of our previous podcasts, but then for this live show with like all the whole the acoustics are different in this hall that you're
Yes.
looking at behind us.
Yes.
You know, and I had to actually readjust some of our settings to
Yeah.
refix it all.
We're not in our room anymore. This is a whole theater. You know, the acoustic is different. So you
Exactly,
know, yeah.
exactly. So yeah, you can leave us that voicemail at again. That's here. Let me put the number up back on the screen here real quick.
Oh,
Seven
yes.
eight five 3805, or you could email us a hit point voicemail file. You know, like a MP3 or something over at
Mhm.
hitpoint at superderekrpgs.com.
.com.
.com.
Which commercial was that?
Oh god, that was like, oh man, was that Lycos? No, that was
No.
hotels or some
Oh yeah,
tra-
it is hotels.
was it
Yes.
hotels.com or was it like Travelocity or
No, it's Expedia.
Expedia? That was the one.
Expedia. Okay.
Okay, sorry. Anyways, for anybody younger than us who doesn't remember that, that was an earworm from
Sorry.
a commercial from a long time ago.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about some cool stuff. Starting with game delays. Oh,
uh,
well, guys, we got some good news and some bad news to talk about here for Decapolice. And those of you who didn't watch JRPG Weekly Update, get ready for this 1-2 combo because first, the good news. Decapolice added a PC version. and it's going to be multi-platform, and it's coming to all kinds of cool stuff. So that's exciting.
More ways to play.
The bad news is that you're going to have to wait until 2026.
Oh,
2026. That was going to come out originally in 2023, wasn't it?
2024 originally.
Yeah, it got delayed significantly. Now, there was some interesting discussion on JRPG Weekly Update that I think gave me something to consider. This is going to be a multimedia thing. What do they call that? A
cross something or another.
Cross-platform? No, not cross-platform, but it's going to be like a big, push. There's gonna be an anime and stuff, and anime also takes a long time to put together. So my guess is that this 2026 thing, maybe the game is further along, but maybe the anime isn't, because they also put out a new trailer, and a theme song trailer is what they're calling it. Because of the music side of things, we're probably not going to play that here because we don't want to get copy striked. But I mean, it's not like they're Nintendo just copy striking people for no reason. But I'd just like to avoid that if possible. So yeah, that's the good and the bad. So go check out the new trailer and get ready for putting Decapolice on your PC in a year and a half.
Yeah, it's a cross media project.
Oh man, what do they call that?
Media.
What else do they call that though? Like it's a there's definitely a different phrase that I'm looking for that's just not coming out.
Well, whenever it comes out, you let us know.
All right.
All right. Moving on from bad news to some good news. I think this is pretty cool. Some update to past releases. And this one involves Front Mission, the first remake. There is going to be a Mercenaries update that will launch in October 3rd. So really in just a couple of days. The update will add 6 new single-player scenarios, local multiplayer mode, 6 new maps, and 15 new playable characters, all for the low price of free, because it's an update. It's just an update. They're just going to give it to you. So that's pretty cool. Very nice of them to add stuff to the game that's already sent out. And, I've heard like mixed reviews about the game, but I feel like I've been kind of like following it because I'm a fan of Front Mission in general.
Sure.
And I'm really hoping that this will be a success that leads to like new games further down the road. Kind of like, from what I'm seeing so far, they're kind of going the route of like No Man's Sky, where like initial release wasn't too stellar, but they are tirelessly updating and adding things.
Well, that's good.
Yes, and it's all free. It's not like, oh, here's a DLC to fix everything. It's like, no, we're just gonna give it to you. So pretty cool. Hoping that this game gets better and better over time, and that it can be something that's more universally acclaimed, as opposed to the more mixed review that we've seen previously. So looking forward to it. From Mission. Don't mess this up.
Sounds good. All right. Yeah. So now let's move along to one more thing before we really dive into the meat and potatoes of this week. And that is some games that are coming out this week. And we've got one. And that is Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream. So yeah, this is the latest Sword Art Online title that features 20 playable characters, online co-op. Oh, well, no, not playable characters. 20 like simultaneous player online co-op characters. So it's not like, multi MMO. It's not, massively multiplayer, but it is multiplayer online co-op, and the new storyline. So it's going to come out on the 4th, which is just what day of the week is? Whoa, where'd you go, Baku? There?
Whoa.
Let's see. Where you scared me
I
there.
Suddenly lost like 3 feet.
So that's coming out on Friday.
Yes.
That happens. We're just so professional, Baku.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
These
anyways,
theater seats, man, they just like drop me.
Comes out on Friday for PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series consoles, the Nintendo Switch, and PC via Steam.
Heck yeah! All right.
So that leaves us with some of the new games that were announced this week.
Oh geez, this is the beginning of many hours of trailer watching and all kinds of stuff. So there are three sets of announcements that we're gonna go over, and I want to just like throw that out there now. First, we're gonna go over a couple of indie games that are completely unrelated to TGS and unrelated to the Sony State of Play. Then we'll go over the State of Play announcements, and then finally we'll go over TGS. I want to preface this to say that there were so many games
I
that
know.
that were shown during TGS, and to a lesser degree the State of Play. It is not possible to go over every single game. We would be here for hours if we had to go over all of them. So lots of tough editorial decisions. If you don't see a certain game in here, feel free to talk about it in the comment sections, or just know that like it's not because we don't like it or we're hating on a game, but we just can't show everything.
Yeah.
So focusing on new announcements for the most part, I think like 99% sure that all the games here are just like newly announced, or if not newly announced, that perhaps we didn't catch it when it was originally announced, and we're just like kind of making up for it. In any case, the first game that we've got is from the creative minds of Noel the Mortal Fate. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this game called Noel the Mortal Fate. Not many people have heard of it outside of Japan, but it's just like really interesting series about this girl who were betrayed, and then she sold her soul to the devil, and it's got this how should I put it, it's got this Full Metal Alchemist kind of situation with her, because she lost her limbs in order to summon the demon, and it's like a really cool series, and I really liked it. Now they're coming with a new title that they're describing as a dragon daughter racing roguelite, which is interesting. And the game is called DRAPLINE. In this game, you'll have to raise a starving baby dragon to save the world from destruction. Each gameplay loop is only about an hour long.
Oh, okay.
But every play session will be different, hence the roguelike situation, because there'll be random elements. You have to make different choices, and the ending will ultimately depend on how you play the game in that session. It's meant for you to be able to play over and over and over again, with all the different choices that could come up and getting different endings. So pretty interesting how they're approaching this one. Let's take a look at the trailer.
All right, let's do that. Here, let's switch to theater mode.
Theater mode. Oh,
That's such a good transition right there. Did you guys see that? That was all right. Baku, I think you're going to need to be in charge of the play and pause button for this show. Just
okay, sure.
So.
I will get the play and pause button. Let's go.
I do love that pixel art.
And yes, it is in Japanese, this trailer, but when the game releases, it will be in all kinds of languages.
Okay. All kinds of languages.
All kinds. You know how some games will be in like... Actually, this one only... No, 3 languages.
Okay.
It's not that many.
A few kinds of languages.
3 separate languages.
Hey.
And English being one of them.
Three languages is a few. So that's cool.
It's a few, yes.
It's more than a couple.
I forgot which game it is that comes up later on in the show, maybe, but it has like 15 different language options or something. I'm just like, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of translation.
That is a cute looking game, for sure.
Yeah. It looks like you have to type to like talk to like the person. So I'm not sure how that's gonna work in English.
God, that's gonna be...
I'm very interested to see how they implement that.
Oh, that's gotta be weird.
Because they're not gonna expect players to type in Japanese, I don't think.
Why not?
Because most people would not be able to type that.
Oh, okay. Oh, that looks creepy.
So yes.
All right.
Yes. So it's got a little bit of like that like racing element, and then it's got that like that's right, I forgot to pause.
We'll talk about that one in a minute.
I have the pause button.
That's right.
Well, hold
So,
on to that thought with the mecha because we're that's coming up next. But this game is launching in early access in Steam in spring 2025 with English, Japanese, and simplified Chinese language support.
awesome. All right, so did that snapshot of mecha fight stuff look pretty cool to you? Because if so, this next one might interest you because it's from the developer Zanrai Interactive. Is the new single player shoot 'em up called VISEGUNNE. I think I'm saying that right.
I think
VISEGUNNE,
so.
or is it
Vice?
VISEGUNNE? It's weird. You'll see that. You'll see it soon. Yeah. And this is where you will pilot a soul-powered combat mech to protect the colonies from a pro-Earth terrorist conspiracy.
That's what they said.
Is it Avalanche? A pro-Earth terrorist conspiracy.
Pro-Earth terrorist conspiracy.
Yep. That sounds like Avalanche from Final Fantasy VII. You ask me. So, you want to watch the trailer?
Yeah, let's do it.
There we go.
Ooh, lots of explosions.
Lots of.
I
mecha.
like these games, man. Like when I was a kid, I played a lot of these shoot 'em up that aren't strictly like planes.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Uh-huh.
And dude, the art style, it's got that like 90s mecha look to it. I really like it.
That is pretty cool. It also looks modular, so like I imagine eventually you might change out different pieces of your gear.
Yeah.
Like that would be really cool in a game like
for the
this.
stage.
Yeah.
You can change your arms, maybe.
That'd be really cool.
Got missiles. I don't know what that was, but that looked really cool.
You know,
Yeah,
but in the gameplay, I don't see it changing too much.
That
Though.
90s mecha look.
Oh yeah, I mean, mecha is just like it's visually stunning.
There's definitely multiplayer option.
Cool.
If you couldn't tell.
So if you have friends, you can play together.
If you have friends.
Oh yeah.
Finding friends are hard, okay, guys? No judgment.
I know. I'm not making fun. I'm being relatable.
There you go. I mean, how do you pronounce this? VISEGUNNE?
I think they said it at the very tail end of the trailer.
Did they?
I think a little robot voice. Do you rewind like 2 seconds and? Oh no, it said wish list now. Okay, shoot. So it said, so that's how you pronounce it. It's pronounced wish list now.
Yes.
VISEGUNNE.
It's German, guys.
I mean,
God.
if it was German, I would have expected it to be like a W, like VISEGUNNE. You know, like that kind of like a W-E-I-I.
Yeah, that's why it's not a V
W-E-I-S-S.
sound. It's wish is the W.
Yeah, that'd be the German would be with a W. anyways, VISEGUNNE. No release date as of right now, as you can see from the trailer. But it is currently being developed for PC via Steam. So you know, pretty cool. You know, you got a computer. Don't you guys have computers?
Yeah, don't you guys have computers? God.
A lot of us probably don't.
Yes. Oh boy. Okay, these next three are for most of you who are watching. Should be pretty interested in this. We got some new high quality pixel indie JRPGs coming in. Starting off with Seed of Nostalgia from Primitive Pixels Games. In this game, you follow the adventure of a young spirit blade named Attila as he descends the world tree and journeys across the land. Watching this trailer, which we'll show in just a second, just gives me this Terranigma vibe.
No kidding.
Yeah, because well, when was Terranigma released? Like 30 years ago?
1994-ish.
40.
So
like
20
years ago?
Yeah, 30. God damn.
Okay, so 30 years spoiler, but remember Terranigma you start off from like a very secluded. I mean, without actually going into detail, you start from a very
Did you
secluded.
did you just
Uh,
ask me if I remember Terranigma?
yeah. No, I'm asking
Chat. Okay.
the
Okay.
chat. Yeah. That this is an open conversation. So recall that Terranigma starts you off with like a fairly remote part of the world, and then you have to travel to like the greater world, right, so to speak.
Hmm.
In
You can
some
say that,
sense, this
sure.
game is kind of like that. You start off in a very secluded part of the world, which is atop of the world tree, and then you have to travel down to the world because of certain circumstances, and you have to do a bunch of things. And
Okay.
I'm not saying it is Terranigma, but it has a very similar premise.
I'm sorry, you've
I
already
find
set
that
my
interesting.
expectations right up here.
Okay,
You can't walk them
or
back
not
now.
that, you know. I don't want to like sell the game incorrectly. I just thought it had a pretty similar premise.
I got you.
So tell you what, why don't we watch the trailer and you tell me how you feel about it? Okay.
All right. All right.
Oh, why is it okay? Primitive pixel. Seed of nostalgia. I love these.
I love the drum sound already.
Yeah, it just looks. It's another like indie JRPG that just looks so freaking good. Like
Yeah.
people like Forge of Fate, these guys, obviously, Chain Memory, like Chain Echo, Chain Echoes, and like the likes have just really pushed indie graphics to a reasonable level.
Oh yeah. This giraffics are sick.
Man,
This looks so cool, man. I love it already.
bloody hell!
Yeah. I wonder, is that actual like in-game platforming or is this cutscene platforming we're seeing?
Oh, I think these are in game.
Oh, that
I don't think
I
those
like.
are cutscenes. These are in game.
I like what I
Oh,
see.
look at the world map! Hey!
Yes.
Love to see it. Love to see it. Of course, there are chests. Of course, you get that bronze armor. Spoiler.
Yeah. So like, you asked me what I think. Does it look Terranigma-y? I can see visually, it's pretty.
Yeah.
Terranigma.
No. When I say Terranigma,
I know,
I don't
I
mean
know.
the visual. I
you
meant
mean
the
premise-wise.
of the story.
I get that.
Yeah.
Okay. Just
No,
reeling it back
graphically,
in.
no.
Yeah. But and also the gameplay style is turn-based RPG.
Yeah, it's
but
turn-based.
that looks cool.
Yeah.
That looks really cool.
I know.
I am excited.
More things to be excited over, guys.
Uh-oh.
Looks like Golden Sun. Yeah. Pause that. Anywho, that's coming up next. So there's no release time frame yet. It is currently being developed, I think exclusively for PC via Steam. The demo is available on Steam though, so if you want to try out Seed of Nostalgia and just kind of see for yourself what the story's about, the demo is there. And we're really looking forward to seeing the full release. Like there's so many of these games now that I'm just like, well, when are you gonna release this so I can actually play the full thing? It's like that
I
list
know.
is growing. Yeah. And I just mean strictly indie JRPGs. That list is growing.
It really is.
You know, like good things takes time to develop. So give them time, give them space. It will come out in due time.
I feel like it's really rare when an RPG is developed by an indie studio and it's not initially exclusively for Steam. Because that's just the most accessible platform to publish upon. And it's really like that successful launch that funds, pushing into other. So if you're not interested in, the PC version, hopefully enough other people are that eventually you'll be able to play it on a console or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotta support them indies. So
gotta support them indies.
Now let's talk about this next game here. That you saw a very brief glimpse of called Beloved Rapture. It's from Rapture's studio. It is a new turn-based RPG with 6 playable characters. In this, you'll seek out riches, loot minigame. I'm sorry, seek out riches, loot, comma minigames. You won't be looting minigames and other optional content. They want you to feel immersed in this world, leaving out filler side quests and instead aiming to keep your playthrough feeling fresh and exciting. You want to
I
give
like
this?
the leave out filler side quest part. That's the most important part of that entire blob is leave out filler side quests. Please.
Yep.
Thank
Yep.
you.
You can tell you can tell that they're indies. They're like, yeah, we ain't got
Shall
time to
we?
develop that pointless stuff. Yeah, let's go
Right?
for it.
Let's do it. But they do have time to make this really cool trailer for us to enjoy.
I know. Look at that.
Spinning slash, of course.
Oh yeah. Classic. I think I remember playing a
sword?
demo of this. I do think I remember playing a demo of this a very long time ago.
The music is so nice too. Oh, you can swim under to get chests to find potions. Who hides potions underneath?
Well, I mean, if I was
does
to
that?
hide something I didn't want someone to find, I would probably put it somewhere hard to locate.
Not my potions.
You know, I'd have it sleep with the fishes. Give it a pair of concrete shoes. You know what I mean? If I don't want someone to find it. Talking about potions, of course.
Oh, there's puzzles.
Oh man.
Oh, there are puzzles. And you have to apparently dodge a bunch of things.
I think this game looks just really beautiful.
I'm super excited for this too.
Oh. Kind of gives me a little bit of Lunar.
No, not the NPCs.
Kind of gives me a little bit of Lunar vibes. I wasn't sure based on that snippet of the combat if it's gonna have like the moving around in the area, like how, if that affects things like AOE or not. But like the character sprite designs are a little Lunar-y. Maybe I just have Lunar on the brain for some reason.
Yeah,
though.
you've got Luna on your brain right now.
Could be. Could be. This is a sick trailer, though.
Yeah, I'm excited for this.
Spring of 2024, it says.
Spring of 2024.
Uh-oh. You didn't
Okay.
You didn't see that yet, guys.
No, you saw nothing. Stop it. Stop it, chat.
All right. So, we don't have an exact date. The trailer, as you saw, said a date or time that had already passed. But the developer said that it looks to be on the horizon for 2024. The demo is available on Steam if you're interested in trying it out. So, go check it out.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of things with demos available on Steam, this next game is also falls under that category. B-Train Studio just gave us a new demo for their upcoming classic Fire Emblem inspired tactical RPG called Grey Heritage Noble Duty. Now, if Grey Heritage sounds familiar to you, that's because Noble Duty is actually the second game to an ongoing series from B-Train Studio, the first being a Grey Heritage of Faded Vision. So congratulations to them for making a sequel as an indie developer. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We don't see that too often. It's still completely independent too. Not having been like purchased larger studio or something.
That's good.
So Brendan from B-Train Studio would like all of you to know that Noble Duty is actually the prequel to Faded Vision, and that it is a good entry to play in any order.
Oh.
So feel free to play Faded Vision if you want to, and then
You
play
know,
this, or you can play
I feel
this
like that's-
and then go back to Faded
I
Vision.
feel like that's a really good distinction and honestly a pretty cool strategy for developing games and allowing players to play in whatever order. That's smart.
Shout out to Brendan too. He actually reached out long ago when it came to Faded Vision, And then so that we talked about it in the past, tried the game. And then when I heard that he was doing a sequel, I actually reached out to him so that we had a little correspondence. So it was pretty cool. But let's
Nice.
take a look at the trailer so you know what the heck I'm even talking about.
Yeah, cause
Yeah, so as you can see, it is definitely a classic Fire Emblem
I
kind of game.
see. Yes.
The art's really nice. You know what? I forgot to ask him if he's like a solo dev. I think he's a solo dev with like, you know, like
Oh,
assets
yeah.
and stuff that he might have like hired people to do, but
That
I think
is-
he is a solo dev.
That does look very classic Fire Emblem-y.
Oh yeah. Like if you like the classic, if you don't really care for like the new Fire Emblem, you want to go back to like classic mode, like this is classic Fire Emblem game.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Light Tomb, Claymore, crystal stuff on the
Oh
ground.
yeah, finding stuff on the field. I never got very good
Counters.
at. I never got good at earlier Fire Emblem titles.
I think I've only exclusively played the old Fire Emblem title. I've actually not played like the new stuff. Yeah, I've actually not played any of the new stuff. Like anything that's like 3D Fire Emblem, I had not played at all. So this game is slated for a Q1 2025 release on PC via Steam, and of course, as mentioned, the demo is available on Steam. So man, that's a lot of demos. Like Seed of Nostalgia is on Steam, Beloved Rapture is on Steam, Great Heritage is on Steam. That's a lot of games to play.
Yeah.
Not including all the other things that we already talked about from previous shows, like Bloomtown is on Steam,
man.
all for demo, and
It's a good
there's
time
lot
to
of
have a Steam Deck.
things to go over.
It's definitely a good time to have a Steam Deck.
Oh yeah, I think all of these would be great on the Steam Deck. Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag please sponsor us.
Hashtag please sponsor.
that'd be pretty sick. All right. So
All right.
I suppose that leaves us now with just a few more titles that were announced at the Sony State of Play. Because up to this point, it's just been kind of like a mixed nuts, right? You know, a lot of indie stuff, and I love some indie stuff, but sometimes that indie stuff doesn't show up, you know, or it can show up elsewhere. Anyways, I don't know where I was going with that. Sony State of Play. It happened.
Yes.
It happened on the 24th, and since then, you know, cool stuff has been cropping up. So starting off with the Sony State of Play, we have the clay-based dark fantasy adventure game called The Midnight Walk from Fast Travel Games and Moonhood. The game can be played as a third-person or first-person title in VR. So yeah, if you're one of the people with that,
I think you would at least find this game interesting, if not your cup of tea, because it's clay stop motion. Or at least the style is clay. I don't know if they actually use clay like models.
Sure,
in
sure,
the
sure.
production, but
that looks cool.
I know.
Monster in the woods.
I wonder if the
handcrafted in clay.
I wonder if the frame rate would cause any degree of motion sickness.
Well, at least in the VR mode. Third person, maybe not so much. As long as
Yeah,
you can
probably
keep it
not.
30 and above. VR though, ooh.
Oh god.
Yeah, so now you're seeing it in VR mode. So you can
Yeah.
actually play in third person and VR. You don't have to do one or the other. But you can do one or the other.
Ugh.
is what I mean. Yeah. So for me, I don't like VR, and third person is an option. You can just play it in third person mode like this, like the entire game.
That is cool.
So it's kind of like, I don't know, for reference, if you guys know Resident Evil 8, I want to say. I got it.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
oops. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, Resident Evil 8 has like that first person and third person option. So like it originally came out as a first person game, and then later on they released like a third person like patch basically that allows you to play Resident Evil 8. Is it 8? I think it's 8.
I couldn't tell you. Maybe
think it's
sounds
8.
right.
8 sounds right. Yeah.
Village.
Yeah, 8. I think it's 8. 8's the reason, yes, the third person update. So this game is kind of like that, except you don't need an update. Like it's gonna be either first person or third person you can pick. Like from the get-go, from my understanding. So that's pretty cool.
All right. I'm excited. And it's launching sometime in 2025 for PlayStation 5, PlayStation VR 2, and PC via Steam, as you can see on the screen that I'm almost touching. It's
That's
like it's
right.
right there in
It is
VR.
like it's right there. It's
Guys,
telling you.
you know,
I wonder
I
if it's
can't
gonna come to like Quest or something. I don't know. Like
I
if
can't
they're gonna
wait.
do this whole VR thing, and why not, right? It's on Steam anyway.
I can't wait for
Uh,
HitPoint to be in VR, you know?
There will be a day. We should film ourselves in 3D camera so that people can like look around our room in the theater.
You guys don't want to see this.
All right. Next game we got is a third-person action adventure game from developer Rogue Factor called Hell Is Us. The game takes place in a hostile post-Civil War world, not the U.S. Civil War, but just like a a fictional
Civil War.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's modern, maybe postmodern times. But yeah, it's filled with supernatural creatures. Yeah, when I saw the Civil War thing, I was like, did you mean like American Civil War? Civil War?
Yeah,
It's like, no,
yeah.
no, no. It's just like a civil war that happens in their world. Interestingly, this game will feature no map, no compass, no quest markers, which is interesting for a 3D third person action adventure game to have no map, no compass, no quest markers. Players are to use their instincts to proceed. Go where you think you should go. It's said that they have written the game in such a way that makes that kind of gameplay possible. Intrigues me because I want to see how they would actually pull that off. So let me switch over to that next trailer and let's take a look.
Alrighty. Oh yeah, I should probably full screen this.
I don't remember when it
Yes.
happened, but I remember how I felt.
Feeling a little underwater.
Father told us to hide when they came to our house. Then they took him away.
I thought this
Then
trailer
I
looked
couldn't
super
play
cool.
outside anymore.
It actually
At
does.
first I was like, I don't think I'll play this. And then the more I watch it, I'm like, you know what? Okay, maybe I will play this.
Mother always said monsters didn't exist. I thought they lived under my bed. We were both wrong. They live inside our heads.
And as you can
Oh,
see, it's got
yeah.
some. Oh, yep, it's got that horror. I'm only reluctant to say horror because they didn't call this a horror game.
Sure.
When I look at these like unsettling monsters, I'm like, okay, you can't tell me that there's like no horror element.
Oh,
These
this is
things look
interesting. That like
creepy.
merger of like tech and and what looks like medieval fantasy. Oh, something about that
Right?
draws me in.
Doesn't that look cool? That's what I meant. At first, I was like, I don't think I want to play this.
Yeah.
And then the more I watch it, I'm like, okay, maybe. And then by the end of the trailer, I'm like, okay, I will play this.
Uh-huh. Something about
I
like the
changed my
void
mind.
in the faces is just ugh, but also
Unsettling. Right?
uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know. The more I watch this, the more I'm like, ooh, I want to play it now. It's got swords, it's got skills, but then it's got a little drone, it's got like a bullet vest. It's like you said, it's this like mix of like modern and like fantasy elements. It looks really cool. I'm convinced now I want to play
Oh.
this game.
You know, I'm kind of drawn to it too. It does look a
Yeah.
little like Soulsy, maybe, but I feel
Mhm.
like everything looks Soulsy at this point.
Yeah.
We're so used to
Because
seeing
that's
that.
like the most popular point of reference for these kind of like 3D adventure
Yeah.
slash RPG games. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's probably going to be Soulsy, but with like other kinds of sauce, right?
Yeah.
And that's interesting. I'm here for the vibes also.
I'm here for it. So this game is going to release sometime in 2025 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC via Steam. No PS4, no Xbox One, no Switch. It is just new gen stuff only.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about this. It's interesting because we were actually just talking about something claymation-y, the clay animation and stuff. Well, Fantasian Neo Dimension is kind of similar in some ways. So, and that's another game we're going to be talking about here because Square Enix gave us the launch date and a new trailer for that title, Fantasian Neo Dimension. Now, as a reminder for anybody who has been living under a rock for a while, Fantasian is notable because it is Hironobu Sakaguchi's latest title that was originally developed for Apple Arcade. Hironobu Sakaguchi, for those who have been living under a rock even further, even longer, the creator of Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Now, he made this game for Apple Arcade, iPad, iOS, that sort of stuff. And a lot of people just kind of skipped it because a lot of people don't want to, buy Mac
Apple.
stuff and Apple stuff. And I get that, but I played it and I enjoyed it. So this is like a turn-based RPG that is it's also noteworthy because it is designed and made like all the worlds are dioramas in real world dioramas that like they took a series of pictures of and like stitched together in the in-game engine, and it's so cool. Yeah, let's take a look at the trailer.
I got it.
Oh, uh-oh. What'd you do? That's not it.
I don't know.
All right.
Okay. Here we go.
No!
It's not playing.
Let me try. I got this.
Okay. You got it?
No. What the heck?
It's
I don't know what it's
refusing
doing.
to play.
That is weird. That's not
That
just
is
Baku
weird.
being okay. Here, let me try something else.
Okay.
Stall. YouTube.com.
In the meantime, definitely wasn't going to play this on Apple, though I'm happy if they make good money on that. Yes. I'm poor. I'm so sorry, Michael Wolf. You're gonna be poor.
I got it.
You're just
You probably can't see it, but this is the new trailer.
That's a lot of games to
What's going on?
the most professional
All I can
podcast on
remember
YouTube.
is
Heck
your
yeah.
name.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna play
And
it with
Twitch.
subtitles too. Here, let's turn that off.
I'll find someone
Physical
who has
PS5?
memories my own if I have
Oh
to.
man,
Is there a physical version for this? There is, right?
yeah,
I'm gonna pre-order that now.
yes.
Order the physical.
For Switch and PS5, I do believe.
With 150 handmade dollars. Wow.
I know.
that.
Look at these. These exist in real life. They are so pretty.
environments and 3D characters. That is
Where are
sick.
we?
So
That is so
so it's a static camera perspective of like almost like a pre-rendered background, kind of like a harkening back to Final Fantasy IX style of presentation. Like, oh, you see this?
Sakaguchi mad.
And they just put like 3D characters into this real world like claymation area. The gimmick to combat is like you can curve your ranged melee attack, or yeah, your ranged attacks to like hit multiple targets. You can also, whoa, I hit the wrong button here. Most professional podcast on all of YouTube
yeah.
right there. So you can also tell it that you don't want to do random combat encounters, and every time that you would have encountered a combat encounter, it like throws all of the enemies that you would have fought into a pocket dimension, and then once that dimension is full, you will fight them all at once, and you can like just use an AoE attack to damage them all. It's so cool.
I can't wait to actually see the game.
Yeah. I tried so hard to get people to play this game back when it first came out, and nobody would. They're like, "Oh, it's on a cell phone." You know, I get
can
it.
vouch. Derek has tried to talk me into playing the game. He's like, "Come on, you have an iPad. Just play it on the iPad." I'm like,
You have an
I
iPad.
could, but
You have a
it's
you have an
lot.
iPad. You have a controller. It's literally a 4:3 picture on a controller. It is a PlayStation game. It's just a you could play it. You could play it.
A bit of an
It's
a bit of an
free.
ask.
You get a free month of Apple Arcade. You don't even have to pay for the game.
I would pay for it to not be on Apple, and I'll
Well-
put money where my mouth is. I'll pre-order this game
I'm
because now it's not on Apple.
I am glad that whatever happened in the background that allowed Hironobu Sakaguchi to work with Square Enix to port this to other platforms. I'm glad that whatever black magic occurred to make this happen did occur, because it just felt tragic to me that Hironobu Sakaguchi, the creator of Final Fantasy, could create a game and so many people could be so damn apathetic about it to not even play it just because it's on a platform that was like, oh, I don't know, it's icky. Like, oh, come on, guys. You're better than this. I know you're not, but I wish you were. Anyways, just calling everybody out.
I can't imagine a day where after effectively being ousted by Square Enix, I mean, it's a different era. We've talked about this many times. It's a whole different era. It's a whole different group of leadership.
Yeah.
Like Square Enix today is not the Square Enix that ousted Sakaguchi. Like that, we have to state that the leadership, the old guards, they're like gone, right? Or for the most part, gone.
Thank God.
And so this new group of people who are like welcoming him back. And I can't imagine the day where Sakaguchi walks back into Square Enix HQ and be like, "Holy crap! I'm stepping foot into this building again." To talk about this game, I'm sure they had to have like in-person meeting at some point. That must be insane. And a little bit of a little tidbit that I want to throw out there just to maybe sweeten the pot a little bit more. Uematsu, Nobuo Uematsu had the person, of course, the legend who gave us all those scores of music for Final Fantasy and beyond. He had come out and state that Fantasian is and probably will be the last game where he actually composed music from start to finish. Like, yeah, he'll add like a guest track here and there. But this is it. This is the last game where you will find him from start to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting there. You know,
It's kind of, it feels in a lot of ways like the last real Final Fantasy. I mean, and I know that that's a loaded statement for a lot of reasons, but just based on the development staff alone, it feels like, because it's Mistwalker, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, in any case, yeah, all the platforms. When is this coming out, Mr. Derek?
Oh yeah, on the 5th of December this year. So it's just around the corner, and you'll be able to play it
Great
again.
Christmas present.
PS4, PS5, the Xbox stuff, the Switch, and PC via Steam. And
No excuse not to play.
And Apple Arcade.
No excuse not to play unless you have an Xbox One, because for whatever reason it's not on Xbox One.
Is it not on Xbox One? Oh.
I didn't take like a deep look, but I only saw Xbox Series,
Well,
but
hey.
not Xbox One. Maybe, I mean, it might be on Xbox One. I just didn't see it. But
On the bright side, it does have that in common with most RPGs.
but it's on PS4 and the Switch. It's so weird. It's like, what? Hold on a sec. Let me, before I give you guys like the wrong news, let me see here. Let me just double check with the website. It bothers me. Yeah, no, it says Xbox Series, PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC via Steam. I don't see Xbox One. I mean, it says like it talks about the logo and copyright yada yada, but for Xbox One, but it doesn't say it's coming to Xbox One. There you have it.
I don't know. I mean, yeah.
Sorry for those who only has an Xbox One and none other platform. I apologize. You will have to miss on this.
They're probably used to it at this point. For RPGs, let's be real.
Yeah, not a big thing on Xbox One owners, especially the ones who only owns an Xbox One.
I'm not hating on the
literally
Xbox
nothing else.
One or owners of the Xbox One. I'm just saying it's not the premier place for any kind of RPG. But then
That's
again,
true.
neither is Apple Arcade. So, you know,
There are many ways to play.
many,
Anywho,
many ways. Yeah.
many ways. Yes. So the next game that we're going to talk about, you can actually see right now on the screen, but pretend to be surprised because I was surprised when I saw the announcement. Anyways, from the PlayStation State of Play, Asper announced that they will be releasing the remastered version of Legacy of Kain, so Reaver 1 and 2 on multiple modern platforms, of course, including Sony, to celebrate the series' 25th anniversary. And that's the surprising thing for me. I mean, I know that there has been a lot of, a small but kind of vocal minority of gamers who are like, oh, when is Legacy of Kain ever going to come back? Like, that was such a great game. I didn't expect this to actually get a remaster, but here we are in 2024. We're seeing the remaster for this game. So let's take a look at that trailer.
Alrighty. Here, I'll do
It's actually pretty
know
cool
the
that
truth,
they're doing this.
I actually
I stood
played this
Kain
back in the
and my
day
brethren
a little bit.
until
My
I
friend
had the honor of
rented it, and we took
surpassing
turns
my
trying to play it.
For my transgression,
We did not get very
I
far.
earned many kind of reward.
Okay, I had a very similar experience, except my experience was, remember back in the day, like, games are expensive and we're poor, kids with no money. Well, we would take turn, like, owning certain games. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I typically get all the RPGs, and then one of my neighbor, who's like my age exactly,
Ooh, look
likes
at that.
these kind of like actiony kind of like adventure game, right? Like, he likes Zelda, he likes these kind of games. So he bought this, and we would go to each other's houses to play them.
Yeah.
So I played a little bit of this, and I had really good, like, fond memories playing this. But I also didn't get very far because I wasn't the one who owned it. I only went over there to play a little bit, at a time, in between bouts of tags, because we were like kids. So when we still used to play outside, guys,
Lies.
those were the days. Yeah. So I had fond memories of this game. So I'm hoping to relive that when it comes out in December 12th, 12/12, on all modern platforms. So literally any platform that you own, including you, Xbox One, you also get to play this game.
So, that's pretty cool and all.
Yeah.
But, there was another PlayStation 1 RPG that also got a little bit of an update here, guys. Gung Ho Online Entertainment announced that they will be remastering LUNAR, the Silver Star story, and LUNAR 2 Eternal Blue, and bundling the two together into LUNAR Remastered Collection. Oh, yes. Players can play the original Japanese voiceover or with the all-new English voiceover. You can also choose between the classic mode and the remastered mode. The remastered version will also come with some quality of life improvements, such as speeding up of battles. They call it an improved tactics menu and other cool things.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this. I'm still like, gosh, when I was talking about this during JRPG Weekly Update, I was at first like really contemplative. I was thinking like, are they going to do the working designs thing? Is this going to be a retranslation in addition? Because like the all new voice acting probably means they might be all new voicing a whole different script or something. It's hard to say for sure yet. Because part of like the charm for the old PlayStation 1 style for me and for a lot of people is the working designs thing, which I know is kind of hit and miss for some people. Working designs likes to, instead of like, translating word for word generic NPC dialogue, they'll include little like jokes or stuff that's really funny and very charming for the day, and it was really awesome for me to play. I enjoyed it. Some people don't. Whatever. The point of it, though, is that this could end up being a completely different translation, and I'm curious. I'm excited. I'm very excited because
Yeah.
if we switch back to like the original PlayStation mode, like which original PlayStation mode? Because Working Designs also did some balancing stuff to make the game a little more difficult because otherwise it was kind of easy to steamroll the game. So I'm just curious, like, what do they mean by classic, and what do
I
they
think
mean?
they meant classic mode as in like visually.
I think so.
Yeah,
Now,
like just the aspect ratio, like 4:3 aspect ratio. If you really want to relive those days, you don't have to do the widescreen.
yeah.
But it still makes it accessible. You can actually play this freaking game at all.
Yeah. Now, some people.
So I think that's even if it's just visual, I think that's a
yeah.
great.
Because what they did with
inclusion.
Grandia Gung Ho when they remastered Grandia 1, there was no way to disable the smudge, and that killed it for me. So I'm just glad that they're not doing that, 2x anti-aliasing whatever that just makes everything look bad. I'm glad they're not doing that to this one, or at least that you can turn it off. Now, I will also say that I've seen some confusion out there about whether or not this is based on the original Sega CD version of the game or the PlayStation 1 version of the game. It's definitely the Lunar Eternal Blue Complete version of the game, and Silver Star Story Complete. That is the PlayStation/Saturn versions of the game. And you can tell that because of what's included in the trailer, and I'll point it out to you here in a second.
Let's do it. Because a lot of people, including myself, actually don't know the difference.
Yeah.
I don't. When I was a kid, when this game came out, it was one of those like pick your game and you get to play that one game for about 6 months kind of deal.
So give this a listen right here. I
This isn't
think
just my adventure, Luna. It's ours.
that
It's so beautiful.
comes straight from Lunar Eternal Blue. Silver Star Complete. Luna did not come along on the adventure in the Sega CD version of the game.
Oh,
So that was at a pivotal divergence moment.
yeah. So this is the classic mode. They crop it back to 4:3.
Yep. And I love the look of the remastered anime here that they did, because before that was just super blocky. I wonder if they rescanned the original like
They
cells,
probably did.
or it's either that or did they do the AI upscale thing? But either way,
One or the other.
it looks vastly improved over what was on the actual Sega CD. PlayStation discs. It looks so phenomenally much better. So yeah,
Man, that's another thing that for me to look forward to, especially because of how many people have praised Lunar.
Have you played it?
Including Scott from our friend Scott from RPG Fan.
Have you
wouldn't
played
shut
Lunar?
up about Lunar. He literally would not shut up about Lunar. I have to tell him to. No, just kidding. I did not. But he was super excited. It's
Have
like his
you
favorite
played
game.
Lunar?
I'm like, Scott, have you played Lunar? Are you sure? Are you sure you play Lunar, Scott? You
No,
sure?
Baku. Baku.
he
Has
was going
Baku-
on about it?
Has Baku played Lunar?
I have not. I was explaining that I couldn't because I didn't get. Well, I didn't choose Lunar. I choose some other game when I was a kid, and I could only pick one game
You
or
son of
another, right? Yeah, and I never got to play Lunar because I was I was not from an affluent family, sir. The fact that I even get a game at all is kind of a blessing. And my own gaming system. But it's one of those games where like I kind of want to go back, but then there are always these new games that comes out, and you know how time goes, right? So Grandia, I haven't played either. Like there are a couple of like classics.
Wait.
That, like,
You haven't played Grandia either?
no, I haven't played Grandia. But you know what I'm excited for is the fact that Gung-Ho seems to. Here's my theory about Gung-Ho, okay? They bought a lot of these things on the cheap,
Yeah.
probably. Because no one cares about. Okay, not that no one cares about Grandia, but it's not like a big IP that would cost you an arm and a leg as a company to buy. So they buy these things out, right? From like the 90s.
Yeah.
And once the nostalgia is peak, they release the remaster to rekindle the IP. And hopefully, because Gung-Ho's not a tiny company, hopefully, with those like, Dragon and Puzzle money that they have gotten, they would release new Grandia and new Lunar series that won't suck.
So here's
here's the hope
ultimately
to that.
my
Yeah,
hope
and they
is
haven't done anything that would prove the contrary. They're very smart with their investments, is what I like about them.
so what I do hope is that eventually that we might see a localization of like Walking School or Magic School Lunar, which was a Game Gear version of a game that we never got here in the U.S. I've heard mixed things, but you know, I would like to actually play it for myself and make my own opinions. That would be nice. But
If Gunho's listening, I'm sure they are.
I mean, but you know, they got more than there. Did you know that there's more than 2 Grandias?
There are more than 2 Grandias?
Yes, there's in fact a Grandia 3. That just and a Grandia Extreme. That
A Grandia Extreme?
yes, there are.
That's such a 90s thing.
Yes, it is. It might even be spelt with an X first. So, but the point is, you know, they've only did HD remasters of Grandia 1 and 2. They got more they could be doing here. So, you know, just saying.
Yeah.
Gung ho, you know, you sold us all Grandia 1 and 2 HD with the blur, and you never fixed that. If you wanted to make it up to us,
If you want to make it up to us.
you could probably just, you know, make a port of the other 2 games and make them affordable for everybody. That'd be pretty great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yes, that would be incredible.
Who
Oh
owns,
yes, the
wait,
Grandia.
who owns the Department Heaven games?
That'd
Who owns
be
them now?
that would probably be Department God.
I mean, who owns Sting?
Oh,
Who owns Sting now?
but yeah,
I thought. No, I asked this because I could have sworn Gunho also bought them out.
so here's the
It's
thing about
hard to keep track of all the purchases and
yeah
all the acquisitions
yeah.
over time.
So
But
earlier
we'll look
though,
into this later.
you did mention something that I don't know if I'm on board with, and you said something about eventually making more Lunar games.
Mm-hmm.
Does Gung Ho make games, or do they just are they like more of a publisher IP holder?
They do make games, but rather, well, I don't know if they make games or they're more like, yeah, you're right. I don't know. I don't know what they're more about nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, the company has changed quite a bit.
Well, point was though, first, I don't know what their track record is for making games or commissioning games, but second, game arts, man. Like the original creators behind Lunar and Grandia, like one of the main dudes behind the whole thing, he's passed away a long time ago. So
Yeah.
in a big way, these are, you know, time capsules from a different era, and I don't know if I want to see the corpses of these getting traipsed out like to make new games. Remasters, sure, you know, but do I really want them trying to stick their toes into these IPs? I don't know. It's just
yeah,
I
can see
don't think
that.
so.
I think I think they're nowadays they're more of a publisher than anything.
Yeah.
So if they were to make new games, chances are they would outsource it to other developers to do it.
Well, at any rate, Lunar, the collection, is coming out in spring of 2025 on all modern platforms. And wait, I think it was this one that has a physical release planned for Switch and PS5. I think. Maybe.
Yeah, all modern platforms, everything.
Yeah, but the physicals specifically.
Oh, I don't know about physicals.
I
Hang
think
on.
I remember.
I can look really quickly.
Well, I know I said it in JRPG Weekly Update, and I just don't remember, so that's fine.
Let's see. Official websites, blah blah blah. It's not say on the official website. Yes, it only talks about platform.
Okay. That's
when
all right.
Available. Yeah, it doesn't say about digital and
I-
versus
I may be
physical on.
I may be
what?
crossing my wires. So,
No.
take that with a grain of salt and just
Yeah.
check the JRPG Weekly update. Because I definitely, I know I said something about PS5 and Switch getting physical versions of something, but I can't remember which game it was. So, Baku, leading into this next game, I have a quick joke for you.
Okay,
Okay.
go
What
for
do you-
it.
I was going to say, what do you get when someone has been yeeted to death?
The what to do?
That's
Wait, hold on a sec.
the answer to that question is the title of this next game.
Oh my god. With Ghosts of Yotei? What? Why?
Because they've been yeeted to death. They are now the ghost of
Oh.
Yotei.
Oh my god. Anyways,
Thank you, everybody. I'll be here all week.
how do I unhear? How do I? That is extra dad joke today. Ooh. Okay.
It was a bit of a
anyways.
stretch.
Whew. Okay. Let me focus. I can't even read anymore. After the highly acclaimed Ghost of Tsushima, Sucker Punch is releasing yet another highly detailed Japanese historical third-person adventure game called Ghost of Yotei. The game takes place around Mount Yotei, which is a very real place. It's like Mount Fuji is a real place. Mount Yotei is actually a real place, which is in present-day Hokkaido. So it's like set in like the most northern part of Japan. So you imagine like the tundra and pretty cold.
The cold place.
Yeah, and this is set about 200 years after the events of Ghost of Tsushima. So Ghost of Tsushima talks about like the Mongol invasion in like 13, 14 something, I forgot. This takes place in like early 17th century, so 1603, I think is the year, which coincides with the beginning of the Edo period. So when you hear the Edo period, the beginning, it's like 16 something is the Edo period. Not a Japanese historian. I just remember reading about this.
It's not
game-
quite the start of the Meiji era yet. That doesn't happen.
No,
for a
not
while.
not that far. That's 18 something.
Yeah. I
okay.
know that from
Yes.
Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh my god. So yes, the game will feature a new protagonist because of course it is. It's 200 years has passed. And her name is Azu, who will portray the life of an Onna Bugeisha, which means female martial artist. The geisha in here is not the geisha that you're thinking about. Like,
Right.
Yeah, Bugeisha means like one who is in the art of martial arts. So it's a female martial artist. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Oh, Bu, as in like Bushido, for instance.
Yeah, Bu is in Bushido. Like Bu in Bushido is like martial. Again.
Yeah.
Bushi is the person who practices martial arts.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, Bu being the operative in
Yeah.
Bugeisha. Captured on PlayStation 5. Well, I hope someone let it go.
I mean, this game is only on PlayStation 5, so it makes sense.
We are beyond the edge of Japan. People come north to disappear. But you,
Oh, yeah.
you are hunting.
Ooh,
And now,
that looks so good.
every Ronin here
I haven't seen this trailer
is
yet.
after you.
This is sick.
You have not seen this yet?
I've been living
So this
under
is
a
a-
rock for this.
A wanted
Still
poster
think
Yeah.
you're
for a
the hunter.
female martial artist, presumably, well, the main character.
Maybe. I mean, there's the,
Yeah.
you know.
I did want to also throw out there that this is not a samurai.
No.
Samurai, just because she has a katana.
Yeah, she's
Samurai
more of a Ronin.
Refers to people with like nobility titles.
Yeah, she seems. Oh gosh, so Ronin would be a samurai without a master, but what would this be? Just a
She's not a
Bugeisha.
samurai. Period. She's period. From
Yeah.
what we know, anyways. I mean, the story can tell us something different, but
yeah, vagabond. Like I'm trying to remember. Like what's the title that you would bestow to a swordsman who is not a samurai?
So, like, the thing that I've read about this time period is that, especially because she is in that region, like Hokkaido,
Yeah.
it's sort of like the Wild West, if you would imagine it, right?
Yeah.
It's
Ooh.
like the far off, like, edge of Japan. It was not heavily populated at the time. So this is like the frontier.
Dude,
Does that make
this
sense?
looks cool. Yes, it does. It has not. It's an area that has not yet been tamed or claimed
This
by.
is like 1602. It's
Yeah.
a long time ago, and
Yeah.
it's not heavily like populated at the time.
100 years before the Americas were landed upon. You know.
Yeah.
So, or
Quite a
Ish.
long time ago. So
Depending
it's hard
on-
to say why she is like armed, but if you are a woman in the frontier, you should probably be armed. I don't know, just for your own safety's sake.
yeah.
So
If
it wouldn't be crazy to think that this is just out of necessity to survive.
You know, even today, I find that it's pretty good to have at least 2 arms.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. 2 arms.
Yeah.
Someone says she's from the Ainu tribe. I don't know if she is from the Ainu tribe. She could be. I have not read enough about the game. Because as you can imagine, there was a lot of reading that had to happen for today's show. So I didn't get to read into it, but I think as more detail comes out from the game, eventually I will learn more about the protagonist and whatnot. Super excited to play this game, by the way. And it's coming out sometime in 2025, as mentioned, only on the PS5, at least for now. I don't know if it will come to other platforms, but I kind of hope that it will, because I am not a fan of platform exclusives, even if it's timed exclusive. So at some point, hopefully, you would be able to play this on, say, I don't know, PC or maybe the Xbox Series system. But yeah, I am very stoked to play this game. There has already been some controversy over this because of they changed it. How dare they change the protagonist to a female? Yeah.
Change the protagonist. If they hadn't changed the protagonist in over 200 years of a time skip, I'd say, well, you know what? Here's the thing. Honestly,
Did you see that thing that I posted on Twitter? It was the worst take I've ever seen in my life.
For context, Baku is talking about somebody who is very disappointed about the lack of realism of like having a female protagonist. Like, guys, video games are not about historical accuracy and realism. Like, not too long ago, Baku and I were watching trailers about swords fighting female samurai fighting off hordes of zombies, and at no point was that person ever like, wait a minute, is it really historically accurate to have a Japanese samurai woman?
Which they totally exist, by the way, for anyone who is wondering. I mean, they're rare, but they exist. And not just like a single person, like groups of them have exist in history. No, but that wasn't even it. The person was mad because and I quote, the title was built on masculinity. How dare they replace that with a female lead character? So, yeah, so people already, and I say people because there are more than one person with this bad take, are already trying to shun this game into oblivion.
It must be nice to have.
We've only seen the trailer.
It must be nice to have so little going on in your life that that's what you have to carry about.
I don't,
Oh
I
my
don't know what
gosh.
goes on in people's noggin. I just know that this looks like a beautiful game. If Ghost of
Absolutely.
Tsushima is anything to go off of, and that game sold like hotcakes,
Dude.
universally praised.
It was
Uh,
gorgeous
you
on
know?
the PlayStation 4, and then
Mm-hmm.
oh my god, this is absolutely nuts, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
So yeah, read the books, man. There are many instances of female warriors in Japan depicted for their braveries and they're skilled in martial arts. They're not one-offs, like by any stretch of the imagination. They totally exist. And people didn't retroactively make them up either, for some conspiracy would say. Like, no, this is you just make that up. It's like, no, dude, just yeah, never mind, whatever. Anyways, that was it for our Sony State of Play. I'm gonna move on and whoosah. Anyways, we're gonna move on over to the Tokyo Game Show 2024 because boy, we're not done. we're like
No.
halfway through, I think, all the games.
We got a lot left. So
yeah. Yeah, but before we continue, anyways, I just want to say that TGS this year has been actually a little bit more tame than previous year.
that is true.
There aren't as many new announcements. They've gone over a lot of games, but a lot of those games are things that we've already talked about. So you're probably not going to find things like Monster Hunter Wilds, which, you know, Capcom have like talked about extensively in TGS, but since we've already covered it, we're not going to go over it. You're going to find a couple of other games that are like big name games that have gone over in the show, that had prominent, feature in the show, but we're just not going to talk about it because we've already talked about it. Instead, we're going to focus on, again, new games that have come to our attention. So, pass it over to you, Mr. Derek. Let's start off with a lighthearted one.
All right. So, from Critical Reflex and Denki Works comes a new mail delivery adventure called Tanuki, Pon's Summer, where you'll have only 1 month to save up enough money to restore the shrine in time for the Great Tanuki Festival. Let's check it out.
This game is super cute, and I had to bring it to people's attention because it's like a really nice game to play in between, I think.
I wonder if the
And
Tanuki is going to
animation's
provide a house
beautiful.
for us all if we need one.
Yeah, so this is the Great Tanuki Shrine. To work as a delivery person to make money and restore the shrine for the festival.
I feel like there's something missing from this Tanuki.
Just a pair of something?
Something. I don't know.
Something.
I'm just saying I find
Yeah.
it'll be very difficult for him to provide shelter, with his current endowment.
Not quite the historical depiction, but you know.
Not quite.
This
Whoa!
is a game for kids.
Is that a BMX?
Derek, please.
That Tanuki is BMXing all over the place. This is fantastic.
I love this. It's super cute. That's why I wanted people to see this.
Tony Hawk's Pro Tanuki. Tanuki Hawk's Pro Skater.
And they're baseball mini games.
This is... Wait, who's a pro BMXer? Who did they make the BMX games about?
Well, I mean, they know that BMX sells, so they're like, sweet, let's do it.
Dude, that Tanuki is grinding on that bicycle. That is sick.
It's cute. I absolutely adore this game when I saw it. I'm like, we have to.
That
talk
is
about this.
adorable. That is so cool.
Extreme.
Extremely
Extreme.
Extreme levels of cuteness.
I know.
Yeah. All right. So anyways, we don't really have a release date yet. Currently it's being developed for Xbox for some reason. Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles, the Switch, and then PC via Steam. But strangely, no PlayStation?
I had to double check that. I
Yeah.
had to double check and I'm like, seriously? No PlayStation?
That's-
and I
that's-
looked and like, yeah, no PlayStation.
That looks strangely like Japanese for like a complete absence of the PlayStation. Okay. All right. Okay.
But it's on everything else, so I'm not like mad about it. It's like,
No,
it's fine.
no.
It's on.
It's right. It's weird. It feels like it should be on
Yes, it
PlayStation. It's an odd omission, very blatant. But anyways,
I did a double take.
yeah,
I did a research double take.
yeah. All right.
It could come on PlayStation on another day. It could announce for another day, but at least for this moment in time, that's it.
It's like
All right. We've got another action adventure game. This time a little bit more serious from Reflector Entertainment and Bandai Namco. By the way, Reflector Entertainment, a subsidiary of Bandai Namco. This game is called Unknown 9 Awakening. This game follows the protagonist Haruna, who is a questor with the ability to venture into these mysterious dimensions called the Fold. And we can take a look at the trailer, and they're really putting a good amount of resource in making this game. Yeah, let's check it out.
all right. Can you hit the play button?
I sure can.
Awesome. Since I already had it in full screen.
You know what I feel like this game is? Like, I feel like this is Bandai Namco's answer to
This is Unknown 9
Forspoken.
Awakening.
Oh,
A brand
to
new
to
action
to
adventure
Forspoken.
And the first chapter of a larger adventure that unfolds
also-
within the Unknown 9 narrative universe.
As if a response to Forspoken was ever needed by anybody ever.
Well,
But I understand. I think what
Yeah.
you mean. Like this is their take on that kind of
their-
concept.
Not their response, their take. Thank you. That's the more appropriate thing. It's like their take to it.
I was gonna say
like,
the appropriate response to Forspoken is to just like turn your eyes and like walk
Move
away.
on. I hate the fact that it didn't do too well. I was kind of
I
rooting
know.
for it.
It's actually for what it is. Like if you play it, it's fine. It's not great. It's it didn't deserve the hate. Let's just say there are certain kinds of people who weren't gonna like it anyway.
Yeah.
But anyways,
this is gonna be like an extended universe kind of thing that they're trying to build. So I'm interested in seeing where this comes out to, because this is just the beginning. If it goes well, anyhow, it's pretty ambitious of Bandai Namco. And I think Bandai Namco wants more of these like cross-media things, because the other game that they are trying to push, which is Synduality.
oh yeah.
Is it Synduality?
Yeah, Synduality.
That's also supposed to be like a cross-media thing. Well, if it goes well. The game hasn't come out yet, and the anime was not exactly well received because I don't think it had enough context for it to be enjoyable. I don't know why they released the anime so early, and then the game like is not even remotely like done and until next year. Oh, you can travel into other people's bodies.
Yeah. We watched a gameplay trailer of this not that long ago, right? Like,
No, you're thinking of a different game.
am I? It
Yeah.
feels very similar.
It is similar, but it's a different game.
I can't remember what that game
Because
was.
we'll talk about that game later on.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no, we won't. I
Okay.
was gonna put it on, but I think I took it out. It's Slitterhead. You're thinking about Slitterhead.
Oh, was that it? Okay.
Yeah.
Each ascendant archetype that Haruna steps into offers her different offensive opportunities. Experiment with different combinations of enemies to grasp the full extent of Haruna's power. Unlike her stepping
This
power,
is-
Haruna's Umbric abilities are fueled
it's-
by Umbric energy.
Kind of reminds me of
When
Assassin's Creed a
you can
little bit,
replenish these
except
energy reserves
it's
by
all
engaging
combat
in
so far.
physical combat.
Yeah.
It's also possible to upgrade Haruna's
I don't know
skill set
what it is about it that
and
gives me
supercharge
that
her
vibe, but
abilities.
that's kind of
Look out for
yeah.
anomalies
I'm
patterned
not
throughout each
I'm not
chapter,
feeling it so
and use
far.
them
To be honest, like
customize Haruna's
it's
powers
probably
to fit
early
her
enough, but
playstyle.
Mm-hmm.
Unknown 9 Awakening is
I don't think
one
it's
of the many
my
entry
kinda
points into
game.
Unknown
some
9's
people are gonna
cinematic
like this.
universe.
Yeah,
In
but I
which
think it's
the
pretty
destinies
cool.
of dozens
Uh-huh.
of characters
Yeah.
are weaved together through space and time, with the Fold standing as a continuous common thread between them. These adventures
Maybe it's
revolve
also
around
the
different
aesthetics of, like,
esoteric mysteries and
this
supernatural
weird like
occurrences
blinking
witnessed
flickering
around the globe.
background of like, oh, real world
They
locations.
release novels and comic.
And are
Maybe
spread
it's all of that that's
several
giving me
means
the
through
Assassin's Creed
novels,
vibes.
podcasts, comic books,
And podcasts.
slowly unraveling the secrets at the heart of the Unknown 9 universe. Like Haruna, your time has now come to step into the unknown.
I don't. You know what? I want to ask. I want to ask Chad. Like, how do you all feel about front loading all this? Because it feels overwhelming
Oh
to
gosh,
me
and they're trying to
when you're telling me like, oh, in order to like
DLC
unravel
packs.
the secret and understand this thing, you have to read novels, you have to read a comic book, you have to play the game, you have to listen to podcasts.
Mhm.
It's like that's a lot.
That's asking a lot, yeah. And
Yeah.
and they're already the game's not out and they're already advertising like 3 DLC packs. Like, really?
Oh
That's
man,
you're
like
you're putting the cart before the horse, buddy. You don't make all this crap and then like find an audience for it. Like you make
I
a
feel
game
fatigued
that
just
that
listening
has
to it.
I know. Like you make a game that finds an audience that wants more and then you provide it to them. That's how it's meant to be done. Like like I think what they're trying to do, they're trying to wag the dog, right?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like they're trying to sort of like do these other things in order to make the main thing seem popular and cool, maybe. Oh, everybody really wants this because look at all these podcasts, look at all these tie-ins, look at all these things. They're making DLC. It's clearly going to be popular, right? That's not how that works.
Look at Concord, guys. Okay, listen. If you've learned nothing from Concord, is that you can promise all these extended things, but the game flops, and then none of those things come to fruition.
Well, you know, I don't know. It's still also really early. This could be cool. This could be the next big thing. But
that could be, but
I mean-
I am frankly tired just listening to. Like,
Yeah.
quite honestly, I don't know. Like, I'm curious to hear about
Okay.
what you
So
all think.
everybody else in
Yeah.
the chat does seem to agree that this looks kind of mid. So
Yeah. And for anyone who's watching this later on, and you couldn't catch us live, please leave it in the comment section. Love to hear what your thoughts are about these like cross media project that are just like selling you this entire thing, and when the game hasn't even come out yet. Although we will see later on, there will be yet another cross media thing that I actually am excited about, and actually looks like it could succeed as a cross media thing. But alas, we'll move on for now.
All right.
But before that, I should mention that this game actually coming out fairly soon.
Oh,
Sooner
no.
than a lot sooner than I thought. This game is coming out in October 18th, which is less than a month. That's crazy. On PS4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC, just not the Switch. So I don't know. Maybe if this is your thing, check it out. I don't think I'm gonna get into it. But who knows? We'll see. We'll follow to see what happens, because I am curious what Bandai Namco is trying to do. But that's more for the company and not so much for the series.
all right. So next up, Kakehashi Games and Bandai Namco Studios Singapore have announced a new original inspired
Origami.
I'm sorry. Yes, origami inspired. I was like, that didn't make sense. 3D action platformer called Hirogami.
Yes.
Let's take a look.
Let's take a look. Do I press? You press? You got it?
I'll
You got
press it. There we go.
You got
I
it.
got this.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't
thought
have
this
it.
game
I don't have my
looks-
hotkeys set up for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
no worries. I thought this game looks gorgeous. So you play as basically an origami. You can fold into different shapes. You can turn into a piece, just a plain piece of paper.
I wonder. It's called Hirogami.
Yes.
What an origami would be paper, right? And gami means folded. So is this folded hero, like as in like a hero,
Hirogami.
like a pun?
No, well, his name is well, not his.
There,
the,
it's-
the character's name is Hiro.
Yeah, yeah. So
I don't know.
folded hero.
It could be a pun for hero. That's true.
And I do like my puns.
Look, you can fold into a frog
Oh yeah.
and pull some Mario moves. Just don't let Nintendo know that you had that like butt slam thing, because Nintendo's gonna sue you for it.
Oh yeah, that's patented.
Yeah, that's the patent infringement there. Okay. Paper.
Oh,
What?
oh, that's another
Uh-oh,
patent.
Paper. What?
Wait, didn't Paper Mario Origami King? Oh
Oh
no.
no.
Oh
Boy,
dear.
I would love to see Nintendo try to sue Bandai.
I'm pretty
Namco.
sure-
Bandai Namco
I don't
So
know.
You want to?
I'm
you
pretty
wanna
sure.
Play?
I'm pretty sure that
you really want to do this.
I'm pretty sure Nintendo has patented origami. So Anyways, so you can expect to play this game sometime in 2025, only for PC via Steam, though.
Yes.
Bandai
Only on
Namco
PC.
making a game for PC exclusively.
Well, see, that's the thing. This is the interesting is that
it's
Bandai
their
Namco Studios
Singapore.
Singapore.
That is
they
different.
explicitly call that out. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to see what this is about too. They're making some interesting play, like business wise. So yeah, and it's actually being published by Kakehashi Games and not being published by Bandai Namco, which is again just a weird move. But we'll see what they're trying to do with that.
Why?
It's a very interesting looking game.
It does seem
so it doesn't
strange.
change.
It seems
Yeah.
strange a little bit to me that Bandai Namco Studios Singapore would not be being published by Bandai Namco Studio.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
That's weird. That's a strange
Yeah.
arrangement, but okay, whatever. That's fine. That's fine.
well, there's a chance that my source had gotten it wrong. That's actually developed by Kakehashi Games and being
That-
published by Bandai Namco Studios Singapore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I read it like 2-3 times. Like, no, it's being developed by Bandai Namco Studios Singapore and being published by Kake. I don't know. We'll just have to see like what the reality is and why they would make such a move. It's curious.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, I'm actually pretty interested about this one. Following the first successful Metroidvania, Gal Guardian Demon Purge, Inti Create announced that they will be releasing a sequel game called Gal Guardians Servants of the Dark. The game will follow two demon maids, Kirika and Masha, as they explore the demon world. They have different attacks and abilities, and players will have to switch between the two in order to progress through the different areas. The game will also feature online 2 players co-op. I actually don't know if they have local co-op. That's something I want to look into. But definitely online 2 players co-op, allowing the 2 sisters to be played simultaneously. So this is very similar to, of course, the previous game that we just talked about, Gal Guardian Demon Purge. I think I showed you that before, where like one character would do like long range attack and the other character would do short range attack, and they have different like movement abilities, so you have to like switch between the two depending on the situation. In a Metroidvania, like, so when you're fighting a boss, you might have to switch to close range. You run away, you switch to long range, and then during certain parts of the puzzle, you might have to switch between the 2 different movement abilities. So it's really fun. This is kind of the follow-up to that. We can take a look at the trailer and we'll show you a little bit more of this.
All right. Go ahead and press play and let's take a look.
Yes, sir.
Special announcement.
Special announcement. I love integrate special announcement.
Action platformer Gal Guardians.
Yeah, so you got the close range attack, and then this one has the far range. It has the shotgun.
Demon maid Kirika.
So yeah,
No.
Integrate's killing it with like the Metroidvania and like the platform kind of games.
Yeah.
I think that's like the specialty at this point. Like all the best, well, not all the best, but like all like these like amazing Metroidvania games that's coming out, it's just like all Integrate.
With their fellow demons.
And they've existed for a long time too. Integrate, it's been around making games since I was a kid at the very least.
Hunters in their way.
You know what's interesting? Lowest Expectations just in chat mentioned how they skipped picking up the coins and how they feel triggered by that. And I was just thinking like the same thing. I wonder if that's like some sort of, oh, I could totally play this game way better kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like when they show an ad and someone's like playing the game poorly and you're like, I could do better than that. It would be so satisfying if I could play the game and actually like show them how it's done. You know?
Is it?
I think
is
it's
it one of
intentional.
those,
I think it's
like
Create.
yeah.
YouTube ad thing.
I think it is. I think
Those,
that's what
like,
it is.
Stupid mobile games, and then
Yes,
like they
exactly
deliberately
that.
play stupid, and
then
like,
they-
oh,
and-
what, you can do better, and then
Oh,
you
yeah.
click on it, you download it, and you fall for the trap,
And then you have a virus on your computer.
and
Yeah.
then you have a virus on your phone. Yeah,
Yeah, it's exactly like that. It's one of those like ads that they show on Facebook or something, like only 1 in 3 people can answer this question correctly, and it's like, who is the first president of the United States? And you're like, I know that, and you gotta like click, and that's how they get you. That's how they're
Debate,
doing it.
man.
They're doing it.
Debate.
It bugs
but
me.
I But I'll say, I played Demon Purge, and that game is really good. I played Austrian. It's actually really good. For anyone who's like, wait a minute, I didn't see you play on because I play Austrian. It's actually really good. So that's why I'm excited that they're doing a sequel. In fact, I played a couple integrate games, like Azure.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it called? What something Azure?
Gunvolt.
No, it's the not Mega Man.
Yeah, it's not Azure Gunvolt.
I can't remember. Azure Striker.
Oh, okay.
Azure Striker.
Yeah, Azure
Yeah.
Striker Gunvolt. Yeah, that's the
Oh
one.
yeah, it is Gunvolt. You're right. Yeah. So I mean, it's those guys.
Yeah.
And that game is like super fast paced, super fun. It's like everything that like they couldn't make Mega Man X of to be. Because they switched over to 3D. Don't get me started. But yeah, no, I'm excited for this. There's no release date just yet, but it is currently being developed for all modern platforms. So no real excuse not to play this if you're a fan of Metroidvania.
All right. Well, moving along. Was that everything you wanted to say? Okay.
That is, in fact, everything I wanted to
Okay.
say.
Developer Forces, Tatsumaki Games, and Frantique have announced dramatic roguelike action game Steel Knights Armis, Awakening
Yeah.
of Survivor.
Yeah.
And it's got a interesting name. So let's check a look.
It's a really cool looking game. I don't know what to make of it. Like, it's kind of like a roguelike, but also like twin stick, maybe?
Oh yeah, that looks twin sticky.
Yeah.
Little bullet hellish, maybe.
Yeah, they're 5 chapters only, so I don't think it's a very long game.
Twin stick, bullet hell, shooter.
It looks like, yeah, that's what it looks like.
That looks like a versus selector mode. What is this? What?
Voice acting. Maybe, I don't know.
That sounds like an announcer. Cause it didn't change when like the different person was talking.
And also, so you have to change your power parts, apparently,
Yeah.
and you can unlock pilots.
I can see. Oh, this must
and
have some
unlock
sort of
different robots.
This has to have some sort of versus component, doesn't it?
I don't see it. I didn't, or at least
Like with a character select screen like that, that's got to have some sort of
I
online.
didn't see any mention of it, but there could be.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So this is a very interesting looking game.
Okay. Well, anyways, that's coming out sometime in 2025 for PC.
All right.
Via Steam.
The next thing is that cross media project that I was just alluding to, and that I'm actually really excited. When I saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh my god, this looks like a lot of fun!" And I think it's gonna give Pokemon a bit of a run for their money if it goes well. And this is from Level 5.
Yeah.
They announced their latest RPG, a Ghostcraft RPG called Holy Horror Mansion, which they have described as their largest cross-media project yet. And this is from their CEO, Akihiro Hino, during Tokyo Game Show. He said, "I'm proud to introduce Holy Horror Mansion." I hate the name.
I know.
It's a mouthful. The theme of this game, the theme of this title is family. From the story to the game design, we aim to create an experience the whole family can enjoy together. Enjoy it as a family. I wonder what that means. Partnering with top entertainment companies, Holy Horror Mansion will be our largest cross-media project. Release schedule and platforms will remain unannounced for now. We will hold a cross-media showcase for the game in spring of 2025 to reveal related merchandise and media plans. We kindly ask you to stay tuned for further updates. Take a look at the trailer, though. Take a look at that trailer. It's
You've told me about this, or maybe not this trailer.
It's related to Yokai Watch. Yeah.
But you definitely told me something about the Apple Pen meme. And okay, I'm gonna turn this down just because there's probably some copyrighted music in here that's gonna get me hit. But this is, yeah, this feels like a spin-off or successor to
Yokai Watch.
Yokai. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's totally tied to Yokai Watch.
Is
like,
it?
series?
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that would be really weird if it wasn't.
Ghost and from level 5, but not Yokai Watch.
That looks like Yusuke with the green uniform. Sorry.
I want this to kick Pokemon's butt. I mean, it's probably not, but I want to get them a little scare.
Yeah.
Because it's that demographic too. And Yokai Watch is immensely popular in Japan. They got the Apple Pen guy.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing there, but they got the Apple Pen guy.
Well, I mean, the Apple Pen guy apparently he made
And
an
you
Apple
can
Pen
make
monster.
an Apple Pen monster.
Yeah.
I mean, well, not monster, ghost.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is the ghost crafting element. You can take different objects and craft them into, well, ghosts.
You know, they got people dancing, so they must be doing something right. I haven't seen anybody dancing. You know, the last time I saw a
think they
video
were
game,
on, like some kind of like something got talent thing.
The
They're, like,
last
super
time-
popular dance group in Japan.
the last time I saw anybody dancing about a video game, it was Zelda. Okay,
Did they?
just saying. Oh yeah.
What?
Oh yeah. Zelda. What was it? Ocarina of Time? No. It was earlier than that. That featured like the rap, the Zelda rap, and the dancing. Oh yeah. It's a sign of great things to come.
If they're dances to the game, man, you know.
Oh yeah. Synchronized dancing. That's the trick to a
Yeah, this is a ghost crafting RPG apparently.
and photography.
And photography. Oh no, that's in the patent. What?
Oh,
These
dear.
battles with the oh no, that
Yokai
is so
snap.
Pokemon just now.
Oh.
Oh no, Level 5, you better be careful. That looked an awful lot like Pokemon.
Oh, snap.
Oh no. Woo.
Well,
Man.
looks like their days are numbered.
Yeah, I really hope that this game gives Nintendo a bit of a scare.
Yeah.
Pokemon a little bit of a scare.
Well, I mean, they're ghosts, so I mean, I'm sure they will be scared.
Boo.
Oh.
So yes, as mentioned during the CEO's quote or speech, more will come during their showcase. They have not reviewed the platform or anything, but we will know more about this game in spring of 2025. So we'll definitely be covering more of this when the time comes.
All right. Well, we have another short little indie trailer here that was showcased during the Tokyo Game Show. So this comes from the developer of Virgo versus the Zodiac and Keylocker. This is the developer Munana. They're back at it with another game. This time it's a fantasy strategy RPG called Clowned King. As a clown, Prince Matthias, you will be picking up you will pick your battle formations and manage your troops and make difficult choices towards the throne. So we got a trailer here for that too.
Man, they are prolific. They are just back at it already. Like they just released Keylocker.
I know.
They just released Keylocker.
And the art in this looks really good.
Yeah.
I can't really see a whole lot of gameplay. It's just a very short trailer, teaser. But I dig the art style, honestly. Like, that looks cool. I'm not usually much of a person for clowns.
Well, so the prince is masquerading himself as a clown, and he's trying to get his way to the throne, is what I understand this to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting for like a tactical RPG kind of deal. I want to see more of it. It's, as you can tell, it's fairly early in what's not. So
Yeah. So, yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. We'll tell you more about it. There's no release date yet, though, and it's currently PC exclusive so far, as is pretty much every indie. So, you know,
yeah, a lot of these
it's kind of a
games
thing.
are- yeah, and not to say that like there aren't a lot of games coming to like consoles and PlayStations. But again, we just talked about the PlayStation, sorry, Sony like PlayStation State of Play, right? So those are all PlayStation, and also a lot of games that were on PlayStation and other platforms that have already been like talked about and for previous episodes, and they only showed like more information in TGS. So that's kind of the reason why a lot of these games ends up being like PC only and stuff, because they're like relatively small indies that don't actually get to have these announcements, or they wait until TGS to bring their games out. Yeah, so just it's what is it called? It's kind of a weird selection biased kind of deal. So yeah, no, PlayStation's not dying, guys. Okay, far from it. Even with the PlayStation Pro whole thing, they are doing perfectly fine. So with that said, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this game, wow, okay. It was previously announced as Project HYKE from Akatsuki Games, Blast Edge Games, and Aniplex, which is probably the one that you guys have heard of. They had just announced that their new pixel art action RPG will be named HYKE Northern Lights. And you guys will see these titles in the description. And just in case you're wondering why there's a parenthesis around the S in lights,
It's because there might be multiple lights. we don't know. There could be one light. There could be several.
We don't know. Yeah, it could be Northern Light. Maybe there are more than one light. So then there's
I don't know.
Look, that I'm gonna
Light-
see it. People are like, why do you have the parenthesis around the S? It's like that's in the title. I didn't decide that. Ask them why there's a parenthesis there.
Northern Light and or lights.
Yeah, and or lights. That's the proper pronunciation of the title, by the way. Derek, it's Northern. It's HYKE Northern Light or Northern Lights.
Actually, it's HYKE Northern Light S. The S means special. Okay.
Oh my god! Don't get me started with DQ. DQ11 did that. DQ11 S. Like, what does S stand for? Anywho, the game follows a young girl named HYKE, who is following her mother's footstep to journey around the world that has been devastated by the war between humans and witches. So let's take a look at that trailer. You guys know what Aniplex is, yeah. I might not heard the other two places, but you guys definitely know what Aniplex is.
Aniplex made DVDs that I watch with anime on them.
So that is the main character, HYKE, but then there are other characters who would join along with your party.
I like this art style. That's cute.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Oh, look at
Just
that.
because it's an action RPG. I'm like, ooh, you got me an action RPG. Pixel 2D action RPG? Sold.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Chill time.
Chill time. Yes. Nothing like camping. Because Voodoo Camp told us that
are they
cute girls
camping with camping with a freaking Hummer? Did you see that giant ass truck?
FF15 told us that you guys want people to make food in games. And here's like the fighting.
That Hummer looks like it was to scale. It took up like a quarter of the whole screen. That looks cool. It looks hectic, but fun.
See, you see, that's a parenthesis there. You see that?
Yeah, Northern Light S.
S. Coming soon.
but the S is silent, which is why it's in parentheses. You have to whisper it. Northern Light.
Northern Light.
Oh dear.
So yeah, so this game is still very early in the development, but man, the art looks so good. There's no release time frame or even news on which platform. Though I'm gonna wager that is on PC at least. But no, there's no news on it. So at some point, we'll probably come back and talk about this when they give us more details. Oh, this next one though. Ooh, okay, Derek. Let's go, sir.
All right.
We're getting to the fun stuff.
So, I mean, we've been getting through some of this fun stuff the whole way. I'm having fun. Are you guys having fun?
I'm having fun, but this is like
This looks. I know This remember, okay, I'm wearing my Hype Responsibly shirt. You can get it at shop.superderekRPGs.com to remind yourselves not to get your expectations set too highly here, but it's very difficult. This game we've been following for a while now. We've been following them on Twitter. We've been showing off little like game like snippets, animations, things. We've been following it together as a family, like the Fast and the Furious family. We've been following it together, and well, now we have some new information, and it just looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
Developer Rio Games, that's RIYO, Games have developed their first trailer for the upcoming turn-based time-traveling RPG, Threads of Time. And it was released and announced during Tokyo Game Show. And it is stunning. Much like the game's inspiration, they call themselves a love letter to Chrono Trigger. Threads of Time will follow several protagonists in a journey through different eras. You know, oh man, let's just let this game do a little bit of its own talking.
I saw you.
I shared this trailer everywhere.
Oh my gosh, man.
I shared this trailer everywhere. Everywhere I can share this trailer, I've shared this trailer.
I love the seamless transitions between hand-drawn animation and the pixel art that it eventually goes to. Like, look at that. Just
Look at that.
oh, that's so pretty.
Smooth.
Oh man.
The pixel art,
Uh-huh.
the overworld.
Overworld. Look at that.
The music.
Dinosaurs and stuff on the overworld. It's
The HD 2D kind of battle.
yeah.
Oh, this one. Oh my god. I got goosebumps watching this. I was so
Yes.
stoked.
Look at that in the background, the robot and the
Yeah.
oh man. The apocalypse. Look at that thing. What is that thing? You gotta fight it. Oh, it's Robo. I mean,
And the
not
guy who
Robo.
jumps
It's
out of
kind
it
of Robo.
to do a dual attack. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, 1000 AD.
They
And
have
there was
flying
like
ships?
earlier we were at like 12 million BC. Oh, look at this. She's a red mage. And it's a unicorn wolf. That's cool.
Another dual attack.
Wow. Flame swords.
History.
More of this.
I know. Do you want to watch that again?
I need more of this.
I feel like this is worthy of a rewatch.
Yes. We're gonna
Let's-
watch this again. I knew we
12
were gonna watch this twice.
12 million BC. I mean, it's
The
this
dinosaur
is
times.
this calls for it.
On its head.
So I don't know if we can get the developers on HitPoint, but that would be pretty sick to be able to talk about this, wouldn't it? You know, I'd be down for that. Did they say Ontario? Is this Canadian? I don't know.
They're from Canada, yes.
Oh, I speak Canadian.
You speak Canadian?
Oh,
in
yeah.
The, in the land of Canada. Just
Oh,
talk to them
yeah.
about hockey. They'll love us. Be like, oh yeah, hockey.
We're
Yeah.
just a couple of hosers that are looking for the looking for a friendly chat there, eh? wait, that's hang on, that was Irish.
National religion of hockey. They will be like, you're one of us.
Oh yeah. Invalid Argument says that they could be our interpreter. Oh my
Like,
gosh.
oh my god, the characters, everything about this is
It's so
everything
good.
about this. There's
Oh my gosh.
nothing I dislike about the things I'm seeing. Absolutely. You know, usually I'll be like, you know what? Like, it's like 90% there, but like that one little thing, I'm like, like no, I'm 100% on board, and that's rare.
Yeah. I mean, ah, man,
I have nothing, absolutely no critique that I can make.
no notes.
I think it's spotless.
I know. Oh, so we don't have any sort of release date yet.
Mhm.
It's just been announced. They announced it at Tokyo Game Show. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
And it's being developed for Xbox and Steam. It's probably
Yeah.
coming to other stuff too. I mean, it's gotta, right?
Let's just be real. I mean, yeah, it's probably gonna be published to other things. There's some Humble Games. Humble Games involved, which is cool.
yeah.
It's published by Humble Games.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, you guys may not know this, but like Humble Games actually released like a good couple of games in the past. So the fact that they're on board with this project like makes me feel even better about it, to be very honest.
Yeah. Now I feel like we somewhat recently like kind of talked a little bit about what it means to be like a, you know, a spiritual successor or an homage or a love letter of an RPG. And I know that like a lot of people have reservations about games titling themselves as such or like referring to other games in their own promotional material, but I do feel like this is a valid like thing. Like it's pretty clearly like the time travel mechanics are definitely easily an homage to
Yeah.
Chrono Trigger, and I think that we've also established, we've probably talked at length about like why they would do this, or I know I've put out a video specifically about, you know, why developers might call themselves, you know, a love letter to these games, or try to leverage that information to like help them spread the word about what to expect. I get that, but yeah, I I've yet to honestly be let down by a game that is, at least in the last couple of years, I'm yet to be let down by a game that looks this good and claimed to be inspired by Chrono Trigger. So like
Yeah.
it's a
I mean,
it's a high bar to pass,
it is a very high bar.
but the trick
I've
to
seen a
enjoying these
couple-
is to also just make sure you hype responsibly and don't
That's true.
don't let yourself be overhyped. Just understand exactly what they're saying. They're not saying I am making Chrono Trigger 2. They're saying I loved that game and I wanted to make something that like to me made me feel these things again, you know? And if you go into with that perspective and understand that their experiences might have been different, yeah, you're
Yeah.
you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna
It's
have
not to
a good time.
diminish their like unique existence either. Like a lot of times when, and I've complained about this before, where like as soon as the game comes, like, yeah, that's a Souls game. It's like, yeah, but it's I get why we may say that, but I also don't want to have that diminish like their unique existence. Like they are doing things that are unique, and to a lesser extent, something like this, where it's like it's being compared to CT, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, if you're not a CT clone, then you're not good. It's like, well, no. That's just their inspiration. Like, you know, they are still a unique like entity, which
Yeah.
I would say, the the worst thing that I've ever seen. Okay, and then I can move on. It's
Sure.
I'm Setsuna is still like the worst thing I've ever seen when it comes.
Oh god,
to, like,
and it was even Square Enix trying.
yeah, that's the thing that bugs me. It's like you are a Square Enix subsidiary. It was any other company, I would have been way more forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're a Square Enix subsidiary and they're publicly like, you know, be like, oh, look at these Chrono Trigger kind of like battle. Ooh, yeah. And like, oh, so much hope went into that game. And it did not deliver. I was so upset when I played a game. But this is by far the closest thing I've ever seen to someone recreating the magic.
Or
And
I mean, hey,
well, not
just-
recreating magic.
I was gonna
but,
say hype
maybe not
responsibly,
the right
Baku.
word.
Hype
Yeah.
responsibly.
It's
Uh,
hard, man. It's hard. It's
but
hard.
this does
It's
what
so
this
good.
but it does do, I think, a pretty good job of like showing what an HD 2D remake or remaster of Chrono Trigger could look like if done well.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, that's neat if nothing else. If nothing else, but I'm sure that there's more to
If
it.
nothing else, we will see more of this, I'm sure, in the coming days. All right, this brings us down. Oh my, can you believe it? We're finally at the very last game of the night.
Man,
Yeah,
that's
good times. Just flies by so quickly.
It really does.
All right, here's the last game. Koei Tecmo and Gust decided to surprise all of us with not just one, but two new Atelier games in a single year, which is crazy. Following the very recent announcement of Atelier Yumiya, we now have news that there will be yet another new Atelier game called Atelier. Oh my god, this is so hard to pronounce. Here, give me 1 second. So Resleriana. Atelier Resleriana.
I kind of gave up during JRPG Weekly Update. So props, man. You did it.
And it is called Atelier Resleriana, the Red Alchemist, and the White Guardian. Now, this is not to be confused with another game titled Atelier Resleriana, Forgotten Alchemy, and the Polar Knight Liberator, which was previously released as a gacha game. This one is a brand new adventure set in the same world, but also has a completely original story and is completely offline. No gacha, otherwise we wouldn't cover it. You know how we do. I don't bother you with mobile games, and that's why we've never talked about Resleriana before, because it was a gacha game. So I'm
except
like,
Fantasian. Except Fantasian.
It does it have gacha in it?
No, but it's a mobile game.
Oh no, I'm saying we don't waste people's time. Well, no, we talk about mobile titles, but
We do.
they're like buy to own titles. We don't deal with like free to play gacha. No thanks. This is a completely offline title. It is just like basically like a regular Atelier series. So don't get scared by seeing the name and be like, oh no, this is the gacha game. Just from what we understand, it is just a standalone title, regular, good old Atelier game, single player versions. Let's take a look at the trailer real quick. Not a whole lot they're showing. I wish they show a little bit more in this trailer, but
There we go. Yeah, so Resleriana seems
Resleriana.
Yeah.
Resleriana.
Wrestler. It's about a wrestler named Rihanna.
Wrestler named Rihanna.
Yep, Resleriana. It's Atelier Wrestler Rihanna. Yep. We got it.
Yeah, I wish they showed a little bit more than just like.
Well, she got the flippy ears. That's cute. They show. I mean, I think we all know all we need to know now.
Still a little too early.
Catgirl exists in game, and
yeah, totally. Scott loves catgirls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, there, bud.
The Red Alchemist and the White Guardian. So, this is the other Atelier, which I think it's very ambitious for them to do. But I guess I can maybe guess why they're doing it. Maybe because the mobile game isn't doing too hot. So, I mean, a lot of mobile games are not doing too hot. So it's not like they're failing particularly bad. It's just a lot of mobile games. There's too many.
But I think you hit the nail on the head.
And,
I think you're hitting the nail on the head, because this feels or smacks of, hey, here's a gateway drug, and when the game you want to play is done, if you're addicted to the world, you could come over and play the gacha, and then you'll have characters that you're already familiar with that you're going to want to have because you want to have the cat girl, right?
Oh yeah.
Turns out she's super rare.
You wouldn't pay for the cat girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is coming 2025 at some point on PS4, 5, Switch, and PC via Steam. No Xbox, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, 2 Atelier games announcements in a year. That's crazy. And it's not like a Ryza and then like Sophie 2 kind of situation.
It's
like,
not a
these are
remake,
two, like new beginnings, basically. Yeah.
Well, maybe not a new beginning, but maybe not a new.
Not new, but as far as like a console release, this is like new story. They have to redo things. Well, still, just 2 Atelier games in a year like that is surprising to me.
It is.
Yeah. So, Mr. Derek, now that we've gone through all these games tonight,
so many,
which of these were you most excited about?
I mean, I gotta say, obviously, there's 3. There are 3 main big ones for me that I Threads of Time obviously has. I almost said Threads of Fate, but Threads of Time.
Watch that twice, so yes.
Yeah, that's the top. Yeah, that is so cool. I'm trying trying to hype responsibly. Trying not to get my hopes out of check, but it looks cool as heck. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt until I find out more that sours me on it. I'm gonna say I'm looking forward to more. Then Ghosts of Yotei looked super good. Visually stunning. I'm probably not gonna play it because I never even played Tsushima, even though I wanted to.
Do it.
I'm gonna at some point, but it looks cool as heck, and yeah, I think that looks cool. And then LUNAR Collection. Those are the three.
Yeah.
Obviously, LUNAR Collection. Need I say more?
No, we do need you to say more. Why?
Okay.
Why LUNAR?
Well, if you need me to say more, go watch my 2 reviews of LUNAR Eternal Blue Complete and Silver Star Story. Silver Star Story Complete. Almost said Harmony. That was PSP. Both of the games were phenomenal. They both feature, I think, relatively at least for the time, heartfelt love stories that just were really poorly representative in the genre at that time. It's a love story that's not based on like waifu collecting and harems and stuff. And I think that there's something really special and somewhat innocent about that age of RPG that just feels a little more like, I don't know, a little more innocent and a little less just pervy. And I really appreciate that. It's, I like them. I like them a lot. And also that's just the story, but the gameplay of them, it's like semi-tactical, where you have like random encounters, but like the world, the little map that you're actually moving around on plays into like what enemies can be attacked or affected by a certain area. It's really nice. So yeah. And then the sound, the videos, it's just, it's very 90s anime. I dig it. I dig it a lot. Go try it.
It's got this Disney quality to the music, and like Scott was talking about, I was like, I would have never noticed that because I would always play it in Japanese.
There's even a middle of the game.
noticed
There's a middle of the game like musical number that just like plays randomly, and you're like, wait, what? It's not quite like Rhapsody a Musical Adventure level, but it is just randomly in the middle, and you're like, oh, I guess I'm just watching Luna sing for 2.5 minutes because that's out of nowhere. I mean, but it does tie into the story. Also, LUNAR 2 Eternal Blue Complete has this such an incredibly satisfying post game that like redefined, like it's like a 10-hour post game. Like after you defeat the final boss and the credit scroll, there's like a 10-hour campaign that you can do just to like tie up some loose ends, follow up on some characters.
Crazy.
I know. Like I hadn't
Nowadays,
experienced.
They call that DLC.
I know that I hadn't experienced anything quite like that until like Dragon Quest 11S, which had like, an additional like 30-40 hours post game. But yeah, this was like the first one that it just had a whole other like dungeon that was super fun and pushed you to your limits, and you got to get the whole gang back together for one last hurrah. It was phenomenal. It was a great way to send it off.
I think you're gonna like Tales of Graces F if you get the chance to play it. It's that.
Is it?
That's where the F comes from. Tales of Graces and then
yes,
F. It's like
it's got
it's like extra 20 hours or so afterwards. The gang comes back one last time.
I love that closure. I love that extra little, send off, and yeah. Oh man,
you're gonna love. And Tales of Graces was actually really good. It's one of my favorite Tales games, like Tales titles. Like it's nice.
Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. All right. Well, I was gonna go into this whole thing with like, well, I like these other games from the list, but no, actually, my 3 is just the same as yours, in that order. So yeah, nothing further for me, man. That's exactly what I'm super excited about. Probably for a very similar reason. Touch of Time just blows my mind. I'll share this and then we move on. I was watching. I've been following them since they were just doing their title. Is how early I've seen them stuff. They were deciding what to have the game be, and they were like messing with their logo and stuff. Like it was that early
Oh
that,
yeah.
that they have caught my attention. And at the time they only had like some character design, some like pixel art in motion, and we're hitting hit point button again.
Whoops. I'm trying to switch to our different scene here, and there we go. This is
There you go.
what I wanted.
Uh yeah, the pixel art sold me, but there was nothing else. No world, no background, just individual pictures of their art.
Yeah.
I don't remember if they moved at the time, but they looked really good. But they were like, yeah, we're trying to make a game that travels through the different era. And I'm like, you mean like Chrono Trigger? And they're like, yes, like Chrono Trigger. I'm
Oh
like,
man.
okay, do tell, do show me more. And then gradually it turned into they would show not only the pixels but animated, and how beautiful they look just like got me. But still nothing
Yeah.
of the world, no backgrounds, no animation, just I mean the animated like the pixel art, but not like the animation that you saw from the trailer. They kept it in the
Oh, yeah.
DL.
Oh yes.
Okay. Everything that you saw in the trailer is like the first time they've really like shown it to the public. And that blew my mind. And I'm like, I am right to believe in you. This looks amazing so far.
Validation.
Now to see your actual game. I mean,
Yeah.
the music, the production of that entire thing was
So
just
good.
like, yeah. And I didn't know that they were going to do like an HD 2D thing. Because again, I only saw the pixel art.
Yeah.
And like, there's no background. You don't see anything. But now that they've shown everything else, like, okay, you've gotten my attention, and then some more. Cannot wait to see what else they do. So, yeah. So, if there are any games that you guys are interested in, definitely let us know in the comments. I want to know what you guys are excited about coming up, because boy, it's like we're in like almost like in the fourth quarter. Yeah, we're almost in the fourth. We're in the last quarter. We're in Q4, right? October, Q4.
Yeah.
October, November,
Yep.
December. Yeah, we're in like Q4. We're in the last quarter of the year. So we've gone through a lot of games this year on HitPoint. What are some of the ones that you're most excited about? Never mind like Tokyo Game Show and all that. Just let us know what you are excited about in the comments, and we'll talk about it. And that brings us to the end of all the showcase.
That. Yes.
But
So
we do have more things.
we do have some new
We do.
things. Do you want
Don't
to
walk
take
away.
this, or do you want to take this?
I'll take this one for now.
Okay.
And then we'll discuss. I think this is more of a discussion topic. So here it is. There is now, and this is industry news now. We don't usually cover like laws and legal this and that, but this is interesting, and this is going to impact a lot of things that we've talked about that we
we
have some
hope.
gripes over.
We hope.
Well, okay. So there's a new California law that will basically be an expansion to the existing false advertising laws to make it illegal for sellers to use terms like buy or purchase in relation to digital goods.
Mhm.
So we've talked about like sparsely through the existence of our podcast. For example, when Funimation would sell digital versions of DVDs, basically, and you get to download it, or whatever. But when Sony fold Funimation, all of a sudden, even though you had bought the DVD, or more like the rights to access, or maybe a lease to it, once they folded it, once the server no longer exists, you can't then download the thing that you have supposedly bought, right? Similarly, when say the PS3 shop closes down, or when the Nintendo shop closes down for the DS, you bought a game, but because the server is closed down, there is no way for you to access the game. So have you really bought anything? Do you really own anything? you pretty much don't. And then there are other instances where you've bought a game, but the game wholly relies on a server to function. And when the company closes the server and don't give people ways to open their private servers, again, do you really own anything, or do you now own chunks of codes that are basically useless? There's a lot of things like that, but
Yeah.
these are all basically examples that had triggered the legislator to start this, to put in act this law that basically says if you are going to sell digital goods, you can now no longer say that the people are buying or purchasing things because they don't have true ownership over this good. Now, does that stop does that stop companies from effectively selling them? No, but they have to put a warning next to them, which doesn't sound like much, but and I don't know if folks understand how like laws in America basically works, but it usually begins with something like this. And then this is a state law. So let me explain something to folks who are from outside the country. In America, we have federal laws, which is basically the entire country. But then we also have state laws that are specifically to each state. Now, California is a huge state, very populated, obviously, and where a lot of these tech companies located at, like Silicon Valley. So this actually has major impact and sets a major precedent to finally curb this problem of selling digital goods. Like, how do you define these? Well, how do you define ownership when it comes to digital like goods? And so this is kind of like the beginning of them trying to crack down on this situation. And it extends to like things like gachas. And like, if you think about it, mobile games, gachas, do you own anything?
No.
Once the server shuts down, like you can't connect to it. What did you even buy? Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So here's my main concern about this is that like in the past, similar sorts of things have been done for known carcinogens, within like California. So you see weird random labels of things like saying, milk is known to cause cancer in the state of California or something like that. And you're like, huh, what makes you wonder what about California is so cancerous, right? And so I wonder if they're just going to do some sort of like, what's the word? Fuckery that will say something like, in in the state of California, you cannot purchase this game. You can only, rent it or something like that. Like there's going to be some sort of slippery legalese, stupid, like, greasy weasel word thing that they're going to do. That's going to say, in the terms and conditions or whatever, that by buying you're not actually buying, you're just renting or leasing in the state of California or something like that. And and that's all they're gonna do. That's all, and that's all that's gonna happen. But this is the start, hopefully, of something bigger. But it's just
I think that's the whole point is I don't think anyone is saying this is the solution. Once you do that, okay, we don't have to do anything else. I think this is the beginning of really forcing their hands to either change their practice or truly define what ownership means when it comes to digital goods. And have, because I mean, for the longest time they've just kind of gone in like the gray zone and they weren't like fully regulated. But once they start messing with consumers, like what was it, the crew is like the other example where they basically sold the game at a price, but the game is basically inoperable without a server. So once they close down the server and don't give ways to allow people to have private servers, that thing you purchase is effectively useless. There's no server, right? So, and this whole problem extends way beyond just like games. Like think about like DVDs or like, other digital content, songs that you have purchased. This should be yours. You own this, right? Or at least a copy thereof. but do you really?
And to put it another way, like if you don't legally own a game, if you purchase it, then piracy is not theft. That's another statement that's been making the rounds on social media lately, and I'm inclined to agree. I don't think that piracy is theft anyway, but like I think that it really drives home the point that like if we're going to be using words, they should matter what they are, right?
Oh, words absolutely matter, especially in a realm of legalese. Like
Yeah.
that's where people have fought. Billion and billions of dollars has been spent in battles to define a word. Words matter in law, and so this I don't want to say this is gonna be, again, this is not the solution, but this is certainly the beginning of something, which brings us to another point, and that is, as soon as this thing was passed and was talked about, and the law is called AB 2426, by the way, for anyone who wants to look it up. GOG came out and they're like, hey, by the way, we sell DRM free version of games that you own is yours. You download it, that's yours now. Okay, that file, that's yours.
Yeah.
If you lose it, that's your problem, but it's yours. Take care of it. That's your copy.
That's beautiful to hear.
Yeah.
Gotta love
So
that.
I we need more of that. So it's not like it cannot be done. Like GOG is showing us that it can in fact be done. Companies just don't want to do it.
Yeah. And I just hope that, I hope that this is the start of something bigger. It'd be wonderful if this was, United States wide or internationally known. I would like to see some enforcement of that, and I'm curious to see what that enforcement will eventually look like. I know that California is a big mover in a lot of ways for a lot of these sorts of things. So let's hope that this is the start of the snowball and not the end of it.
Yeah, it's not like North Dakota passed the state law that no one's gonna care on digital goods. But even then, like if any state passes a law of that sort, it usually turns into kind of an avalanche, unless lobby gets their way. But that's a different discussion for a different day. So that's what's happening in the industry. I hope you all find stuff like that pretty interesting, because I certainly think these things are interesting. The law drives business, business create games. So that's what happens. So if you like games, you can't ignore the elements and that shapes like the feel, if you will. So moving to something way more lighthearted, Falcom JDK ban. I did tell you guys this in our last show, that they will be playing at the Tokyo Game Show as they typically do. And wouldn't you know it, they left the VODs to the performance. So if you couldn't make it to TGS, which I'm sure most of us didn't, but if you still want to watch that JDK band play, and spoiler, there were a lot of trail songs. We'll leave the link to the VOD in our description later on. So
Baku, why are you spoiling the music, man?
no, I'm spoiling all the games. All the games. Oh no, you're gonna listen to them play like, the game's spoiled, I can't play this anymore. Yeah. So check it out if you haven't already. The band is amazing. Games and music. I know, games and music's crazy. Yes, we'll leave the link. If you so inclined to spoil yourself, you do it. We're not going to play this on the show.
Yeah,
All
definitely
right.
not. All right, so
All
let's
right.
go ahead and I think, does this button work correctly?
This is
yes.
the last thing.
Cool.
Did I switch over to the wrong? Did I open the wrong link? I might have opened. Oh no, I totally did. I. Yeah. I did. Okay.
Oh, okay.
We're back.
Most
Okay.
professional podcast, guys.
Did you get the link
Yeah.
to this?
It's
It's not showing on.
It's for your screen. I haven't. You want me to show your screen now?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All right. Whoop. Oh, you know
The
what?
most professional podcast on YouTube and Twitch. Don't you forget it.
It's the coolest stinger in the world. I got to use it as often as I can.
Yeah. All right, guys. This last piece of news is about merch drop, because I want to let you know that Kotobukiya is coming for our collective wallets.
Oh no.
The reason why I say that is because, I mean, look at this. Like, this is beautiful Donna, or Dana? Donna?
Donna.
Donna. This beautiful Donna figure. It's actually up for pre-order right now from East 8. And also there is a Joshua figure. But you know, that's just things that are in existence. What about the future? What are they doing? Well, if you're a Trails fan, Kotobukiya would like to let you know that they are making a new figure in prototype phase right now of Elaine Auclair. Is it Auclair?
I think so.
Auclair?
I don't know.
Um,
It's not all that clear to me.
I cannot pronounce her name to save
It
my
is.
life,
It is
but-
not at all clear to me.
Yes. So yes, they are absolutely going to make more Trails figures, as I probably talked about in the very beginning. When they made the first Trails figure, I'm like, watch, they're gonna make a whole series of this.
I know.
I
Yeah.
bet you they will. And now, like 12, 13 figures later, they're still going with a Daybreak character. But hey, you know what? Maybe Trails is not your cup of tea. What about Metaphor? Because they're also going to be
man.
making Metaphor characters in collaboration with Atlas. This is the Gallica
Yeah.
figure is in prototype right now, and they have announced that next they will be making Juna or Yuna. I'm not sure if it's
I don't know.
or yeah, but here it is. I'm just pronouncing it from the Japanese pronunciation, Juna. So it's already been confirmed that yes, they are planning. This is the planning phase now, where they just have the drawing, and then they'll move into prototype and et cetera, which is kind of what you saw with like the gray figure. These are the prototypes.
Yeah.
So
Do you want
this
to show
is
off
the next
that?
phase?
Do you want to show off that 360 view of Donna that they showed?
Oh geez, yes. It was like some many tweets ago.
I know.
Uh,
They also
that-
had a Kuwabara. You know, just in case you care about Kuwabara from Yu Yu, which I do.
That figure.
Where did it
was-
go? Oh,
is
there it
this?
is.
No.
Well, that's
it wasn't this.
kind of-
They had a better one before.
Oh, okay.
It was so far down. Oh
Jeez.
my god.
It's gonna take us a second. The most
We
professional
scrolled very
podcast.
far
This is my fault,
down
though.
For that one. Up there it is. This one, yes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Can you see it?
Look at that. Yeah. Go back full screen.
Oh, yes, this? Okay.
Yes.
Look at the three-dimensional, because this started as like a 2D
2D art
illustration,
drawing. Yeah.
right? But once they turn it 3D, they have to think about like the three-dimensional like space. And this is probably one of the best looking figure.
There's like
terms of
something
using that
happening from
three-dimension. Yeah.
every angle. I love
Every angle has something interesting, like, and something that really pops at you.
that. The motion in that hair is
it's-
so nice.
Yeah, and the motion it's this is one of the best. Trust me, I collect a good amount of these. This is one of the best looking figure I've ever seen. The details, the motion, the expression, the pose, everything is just top notch.
That's
And
really impressive.
you can still pre-order this on AmiAmi. I think this is still up for pre-order. So I will leave that. But okay, you say, Metaphor, it's fine. Trails is fine. I'm not really either of those fans. Well, how about this? They are also, if I can scroll back up far enough, the most professional podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Too far. Back.
Were
I'll
you,
get there. Just give me a second.
were you looking for that one? Because I think you might have skipped it again. But
No, it's right here.
I was.
They're also making figures for another Atlas published game. And from
Unicorn.
Vanillaware,
Yeah,
called Unicorn Overlord.
that's
So
right.
this is Scarlet from Unicorn Overlord, which actually looks again amazing.
I thought you were gonna show off
and-
the Kuwabara, but this is fine. This is good too.
We can go back to that if you want.
No,
we
that's
can
alright.
go back to that. And this is what's her name? I cannot pronounce the name. Elteline.
Couldn't tell you. I can't. I never played it, but you did. But
She's like half of like the elf sisters. She's like ruler of a certain region. But yeah, just super awesome to see. Personally, I want to see Rosaline, which is like the dark elf sister, in there too. But I'm going to guess. I'm just gonna say it now. If these figures sell as well as the game did, which by the way, they've surpassed 1 million sell in game sale, Unicorn Overlord. I guarantee you there will be more. And Rosaline's totally next on the list. And also, because Derek was talking about it.
Oh yeah.
This is version 2, by the way. This is not even version 1. This is version 2. They already made a version 1. This is a version 2. And you can change its expression, they said.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get this for Derek.
Well, I feel like Kuwabara is a pretty cool
Happy birthday
guy.
to Derek. This is Derek's favorite character in Yu Yu Hakusho.
It's just because
these are version 2s. You can change the
man.
expressions.
I do love me some Yu Yu Hakusho, and
Yeah.
in particular, I like his other
You can
hair
change
better.
his hair.
Yeah, that's good because I like his other hair, not his up and back slick back hair. I
You
like
the
that a
up
little
hair
bit
or the
better.
down hair.
I don't like the down.
I like the up hair too. I forgot
Yeah.
why he has the down hair.
Well, it's because it's something that happens later on in the show and manga.
Spoilers.
I mean, not really.
And it's all
there was
4 of them.
Oh, they have a Kurama as well. Nice.
yes. Well, obviously they didn't leave Kurama out.
Oh yeah, they can't leave out Kurama.
No, it's the 4 of them or nothing.
Oh man, it's got the black dragon flame. Oh man.
Okay, we know what to get Derek for his birthday now. Next year, we're just gonna crowdfund this and send figures to Derek's house.
Oh man, I love that.
But just because I am on right now, in case that didn't get you, for like the 2 of you who are Hololive fans, they're also making Gen 2 figures. So yeah, all of our collective wallets are messed up. We are definitely going to go into debt very soon. It doesn't matter what kind of stuff you're into, Kotobukiya wants your money.
Oh my gosh, I know. So you know what though? Here, I'll switch back to this. Before the show, I was actually telling Baku something. Because we were talking about VR in some aspects. I can't remember exactly how we were talking about it. But I did tell Baku something that I think holds true. I finally figured out a valid reason that you might actually want to get like an Apple Vision Pro or like a Meta Oculus or the VR. Yeah, some sort of VR system. And maybe even an excuse to have digital goods. Could you imagine putting on your VR headset and like having an augmented reality version of your room that has a bunch of these like figures and stuff that like you care about and want to have and stuff, but then you can take the VR headset off and nobody can see your room full of all your geeky nerdy gal figures, whatever. You could just you have them when you want them and you take it off and they're gone. And I feel like because that's the hard part is like, yeah, like I have these things and I like to have them on my shelves and stuff. But then like if you invite a lady into the room or something, you're going to scare her off because it's full of small effigies to anime waifus.
Effigy.
You get the anime girl shrine will scare off potential, people. Unless you've given up, I guess. I don't know. Just saying. It would be pretty cool to be able to like have them when you have the headset on and then take it off and then you're like, "Oh yeah, this is fine."
Find yourself a significant other that loves you like you love your figures.
That would also, that's a good point. Yeah. Find someone compatible. You know what? You find yourself an SO who's got a husbando room and you've got your waifu room. Hey, whatever.
Yeah, but not too much because then they take your figures and then like leaves you. That's also bad. Just enough to tolerate your cave, but not so much that they want to take the cave for their own. Just be careful. There's a balance you got to strike.
Oh, okay.
Take it from the single man and don't. I'm just saying that there is a married man here and a single man here, and between the 2 of us, you should probably listen to the married man. All right. So that concludes our show today for the
Well,
news we're trying to cover.
yes.
But we also have
We have gotten some super chats
Yes.
throughout the evening that we should definitely respond to.
Yes.
So we've got this one here from Still Alive who says, "Would you?" And this was in response to the question about like people we should interview. They said, "Would you invite on other RPG YouTubers like Eric Landon, David Vink?" That would be my suggestions if you're open to it. And you know, I would definitely be open to it. Oh, dude, if we could get Lady Pelvic on here, that would be super cool. Oh, yeah, that there's so many cool options for other RPG creators. I've got a lot of RPG creator friends that I would love to have on. But you know, it's also a matter of like what do we talk about, right? And I'm sure we could have a lot to talk about. But what we've been aiming for with the developers interviews that we've been doing is to like talk to people when they're doing something like time sensitive, like, oh, we just did this Kickstarter, oh, we've got this game that's just coming out. Like that's what we're aiming to do, is like bring awareness to important key points in their development. And I would be over the moon to do something like that for like another big project, maybe from like rpgfan.com. Scott would be an incredible addition to a couple of these shows, I'm sure. But like, yeah, I want to focus on like people at certain like big moments in what they're doing. So that's kind of what I've got in the back of my mind, you know?
Ask Scott about cat girls. That's always fun.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay, that could be an entire
Scott
discussion
is-
in and of itself.
Scott loves cat girls, and we should ask him why he loves cat girls so much.
Well, I think it's because everybody with a heart loves cat girls. Cat girls need love too.
Everyone with a heart loves cat girls.
Why do I get the feeling you're
Scott-
saying something without saying something, Baku?
No, absolutely not. I was just
Oh, okay.
enunciating my
Just-
words.
Oh, that's good to practice your enunciation. Very good.
Absolutely.
Moving along, Still Alive also says, have either one of you played Disco Elysium? I heard that it's a very mature and intelligent game. It's more of a Western RPG though, and it's all dialogue, I heard. You know, I have heard
Why
of
does
it.
that sound so familiar.
Oh, it's because it's very similar to like, it's a Western style, kind of top down isometric, kind of like Wasteland or like the older Fallout kind of games. It's,
Yes. I remember now.
I think that it was there is an issue with Disco Elysium at this point, and that is I do believe if you buy it now, you're handing money over to some people who like screwed the creators. And I think that there's like some issue with that. If I'm not mistaken, chat, you might know better than me off the top of my head. But
I do not.
oh God, I hope I'm not getting them confused with somebody else, but anyways, yeah, look into them for sure. But the game I hear is phenomenal. The creators are super cool. I think I recall hearing that like the actual creatives got ousted from the company, and just I don't know. It's messy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely an RPG, like in the realm of like of oh gosh, I think it's an RPG, like in the classic like Western RPG style. It's based on dialogue choices, but no combat. I see. Interesting. Yeah. So, yeah, check it out. I've heard phenomenal things. Like people who don't even normally care about these kinds of games are like, whoa, like it won some huge accolades, as I recall.
I mean, even I've heard of the game, so that's got to be something.
And Baku's like as J in JRPG as it gets.
Yeah. Like, if it's not Weeb, I don't know it. But if I
mean-
even heard about it, like, I don't know, Concord,
Oh, yeah.
it's got to be something significant.
Bakusan JRPG used to have JRPG right in his name.
He used to.
Used to.
Until people keep asking me why I keep playing all these other games that's, although Weeb game, not RPG. And like,
Yeah. No, it just means you're just randomly playing games.
yes, I'm just randomly playing games. But also, I will be playing actually horror games for an entire month on Twitch. So no RPGs whatsoever for an entire month. And for the first time, no one's gonna ask, like, but this is not JRPG. It's like, well,
Oh,
yeah, I know.
everybody, you know what to do. Go ask him why he's not playing JRPGs.
No.
And then Yum Yum Raisin says, "Whoa, can you please give yourself a hug to each other?" So I think that's in reference to the fact that Baku here and are like in the same overall space.
Oh yeah, we're in the theater right now. Just
No.
which what I can't hug. Here, put your other arm.
Do I
Put
need
your other
to
arm
wait,
over.
wait, here. Hang on. I can't. We,
Yeah. No,
that's-
the other arm. The other arm. The other arm. The other arm. Yeah. No. Reach further. Reach further.
what?
It looks like we're hugging each other. Oh, see? There you go. I'm patting you on the back. There you go. Don't.
Awesome.
Don't move.
Here, wait. Here, let's. We get high five.
High five. Yeah. Oh, high five. Yes.
Yeah.
My hand is huge.
Yeah, we did it. We did it.
I have you know that I have met Derek in real life once.
Yeah,
True story.
yeah. When we were at not Portland,
Two mini
Philadelphia. Yeah,
games? Yeah. Too many games.
Philadelphia is the other city that starts with P.
Not gonna lie, I remembered the food that we had that day more than the convention itself.
Dude, that was some sick.
It was way more memorable.
Those soup dumplings were so good,
Those soup dumplings were so good.
and I got to eat durian for the first time.
You did.
That was
you did.
Not.
And Derek didn't puke.
Why would I puke?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, why would
awesome.
he?
I'm I'm cultured.
Derek is cultured.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
I think that about does it for today's show. I think that's all of the super chats that we got. Yep, checking.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that was all of the cool stuff from this year's Tokyo Game Show and the recent state of play. If you enjoyed today's show on whatever platform of choice you happen to be listening or watching on, please give it a like or a thumbs up or a positive review on Apple Podcasts. That's always cool to see. Yeah, we'll see you on the next episode next Sunday, because we do it every single Sunday at 7 p.m.
Oh yeah.
Central, 8 p.m.
single
Eastern time.
Sunday. Yeah. Actually, hold on. What? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
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 All right. See you, everybody.
Bye.